Oh no.
Wait, I forgot to do my DM warm-ups.
Well, do
Rocks
them
fall and they
now.
die. Rocks fall and they die. Rocks fall and they die. Okay, we're good.
Stand under rocks. Stand under rocks. I'm ready to be a player today.
I hate being a forever DM. I hate being a forever DM.
I cast Immune to Rocks.
This is not Homebrew Nightmare. That is not a spell.
Just
I don't
cast
know that I
random
will ever
fish.
do that shit again. It was cool, but oof, that was a challenge. All right, everybody. Welcome to tonight's episode of Decisions and Dragons.
There it is.
Yay.
When last we left off, Dermot and essentially the rest of the party had participated in a bard off or a rock off, whichever you'd prefer, against one Scanlan Shorthalt, and had come away with a victory with a staggering, I think, what was it, 41 was one of your rolls? Yeah.
41 or 42, something like
Yeah,
that.
it was a little ridiculous.
I did real well.
You did. All of you did really well. After the rock off had ended, the crowd started to get a little rowdy, but eventually did disperse after the guards made their presence known. No violence had ensued. Um, Dermot
Hardly call it a
and
party then.
Dermot and Cedo had departed to go begin the victory parade of getting hammered at any tavern they could find. They chose to go to uh, Fidget and Bugs, and there they saw Scanlan, who seemed to be torn up about a previous fight with his beloved wife. At the same time, the rest of the party had spotted a familiar face in the crowd as the crowd, started to disperse. It was a purple tiefling that they had seen at the gala not one night before. Um, Following them, they had discovered that there was a hidden room of some kind in the very building that Faraday and Jericho had spent the night watching the concert. Um, After scouting for a little bit longer, they also saw that Jericho had lingered around said building on the opposite side from the rest of this party. Deciding to explore this at another time, most of the party had departed to go back to the manor, save for Faraday, who joined up with Jericho and seemed to join him
They were
for
gonna
an
put on a little
evening
Marvin Gaye and
for Barry White, first off, for a romantic getaway
Joe,
to
we're gonna
Jericho's
agree to
place.
disagree.
uh, the final moments were of Cedo, Dermot, and Scanlan, who were wandering the streets, hammered out of their minds thanks to the wonderful alcoholic beverage known as fire whiskey. They had made their way to the Temple of the Everlight, had requested to speak with Pike in a slightly drunken manner. After they had gained her attention, and after Scanlan and Cedo were both put to bed because they were properly hammered, Dermot began to explain to Pike that Scanlan loves her, tried to mend whatever bridges had been damaged and or burned a few hours beforehand when Pike stated, I just wanted to tell him that I was pregnant. And that's where we left off. Dermot, Pike just told you that she's pregnant.
Um, I, for like a split second, I become very much animated and I'm about to like shout because it's exciting news. But it's the middle of the night and we just put two people to bed. So I like open my mouth up like
Basically, well, she's
congratulations.
not wearing her armor, but there is a gnome hand that reaches up. Thank you. I wanted to tell him earlier, but after the bard off and him kind of blowing his loss out of proportion, as Scanlan is wont to do,
Sorry about
Couldn't really
that.
find a good opportunity. That's not your fault. It's Scanlan's dramatic ass. It's not you.
He does have a dramatic ass. And I do that clicky thing that
Can't tell if you're hitting on my husband or making fun of him. But I'm okay with both.
yes.
I'm just thankful that he is not drinking himself too much into a stupor. So I appreciate you looking after him.
Well, it's what I'm here for. Ever the wingman.
I just don't quite know how to break the news.
I would, my personal advice, should you choose to accept it, let him sleep off the whiskey, and the two of you can have a heart to heart in the morning.
Okay. That seems to make the most sense, assuming he's going to be conscious and not have his brain exploded all over the pillow. But you're
You
right.
can have a heart to heart tomorrow afternoon when he wakes up.
Thanks, Dermot. And I appreciate you taking care of him. And I would also appreciate maybe not telling too many people. Like your friends is fine.
It's not my news to tell.
Thank you. Anyway, I should probably get some sleep before the.
And with a bow, my trademark bow and flourish, I say, good night, Pike.
Good night, Dermot. And she slowly closes the door. And you are alone on the streets of Westron.
I'm outside.
Oh, I mean, if I recall, you had stated last time that you were not planning on staying in the Temple of the Everlight. Is that incorrect?
It can be correct.
It's entirely up to you. What would you prefer?
It is correct.
Okay.
I will make my way back to the Nallard estate.
Okay. As you are wandering the streets drunkenly, well, maybe not hammered, but you still got a good buzz going.
I'm drunk.
Okay.
I'm coherent, but I'm drunk. I'm not okay to drive.
That's fair.
I walk.
As you wander,
Guys, I'm about to get mugged.
Don't mind that
nothing
noise.
happens.
It's just
You're
Faraday and Jericho.
as you wander the streets, a low fog, possibly just from the weather, sort of covers the ground. Not enough to obscure your destination by any means, but it's a very peaceful evening.
Okay.
And nothing else happens. You make it to the manor.
I was gonna get mugged, and then I opened my big stupid mouth.
No, there was a moment where I was like, I really could, but given the state of things, there's no reason.
He was really just
you-
rolling dice to make you fearful. It had no bearing. He wasn't going to do anything.
I
He was just
mean,
fucking with you.
you roll for a random encounter.
Rhodes, I want you to know that I'm staring at you as I give this dungeon master neutral face. It's my poker face.
What? We all
Joe, have
do
I
it.
ever told
You're
you
just
how bad
fucking
you
with
are at
us.
poker?
It's fine. I'd do it to you too.
And we
I've
have
never-
a druid now.
I
Don't even
still-
worry.
I still have actually never played in a game that Rhodes has DM'd yet.
Oh, yeah,
Really?
that is correct.
I know.
True story.
I know the vast majority of you have played in games that I've DM'd, and how many times do I just ask you to make all of the saving throws?
That's true.
Cujo,
Make a
I
Constitution
would,
saving throw. I got a
followed
15.
by
You successfully wake up.
Cujo, I would like you to make a Constitution saving throw, followed by a Strength saving throw, followed by a Wisdom saving throw.
Yep. But you wander through the gates, and approach the manor. Is anybody else up at this point, or did everybody essentially, once you got back to the manor, go right to bed?
I got tucked in, so I'm asleep.
You are actually asleep at the Temple of the Everlight right now.
Dermot
'Cause there's
abandoned
no
you.
way Pike was going to let you go
Yeah, I'm-
anywhere else. Oh,
Yeah.
Cito.
Kat's probably up, but she's probably just like hanging out in the room with Arthea, like chilling.
I imagine by the time I get back to the estate, it's like 3 a.m.
Pretty close.
What's the problem?
I'm just saying.
I am probably up, but after having tranced, if it's the middle of the night.
And more importantly, Thurston. Not that sounded terrible. Thurston.
More importantly, is Jules up.
Jules is up.
Thurston just rolled a 25 on his con save, and so he got back to the manor and went back into his office.
Interesting. All right. Dermot, as you enter, Jules is seen kind of wandering the hall before turning and seeing you enter. He's not wearing the full suit as he usually is. He's wearing the equivalent of like Ebenezer Scrooge nightgown, complete with cap with the little fuzzy ball at the end. And he's carrying a candle, and he says, "Oh, Master O'Fairy, I heard that the concert went well."
Sorry you missed it. It was pretty great.
Wonderful. And he kind of glances up at the stairs. Your room is prepared and ready for you. Should you need anything, just say the word.
Which word?
It's, well, I suppose my name would work.
Excellent. Then that's the word.
Right. Have a wonderful evening.
You as well.
He shuffles down the hallway, it seems seemingly towards the kitchen area. Is there anything that you guys wish to do before the night passes?
I think I am just going to stagger my way up to bed.
Sounds good.
What did I write down?
As a matter of fact, I wake everyone up as I do it.
World's worst stealth check, I'm guessing.
And not world's worth. World's worst. It's a 9.
All right.
But they are hardwood floors.
It's true.
Oh.
They're definitely
And
hardwood floors.
I don't have skin feet.
No.
Sounds so awful
That
That's
just made them
awful.
sound
when you
horrible.
It
say
is
that
the
like that.
worst,
Just
the
don't.
worst noun.
Yeah.
Skin feet. That's all. Like I hate
That's,
that.
Yeah.
that's terrible. Just
That's
I
like,
hate it.
what was it, yeast cone?
Yeah.
ew.
Or
Deep
deep
rock?
rock.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Can we
Mhm.
not?
Like
See?
this.
See? To get separately, those two words are fine. Together, however.
Not every word needs to be together.
No.
No,
we
it-
don't.
No.
Not every word can be friends with every other
But
word.
what if you make a delicious, moist,
Stop. Nope.
yeast-based chocolate cake?
You're evil.
Moist and yeasty.
Evil.
Just
Yeah.
you broke Cujo.
You broke him.
Good
We're
night,
done.
everybody.
All right. Good night.
Oh, short.
Man. Oh boy.
At least I didn't throw secretion in with that.
Okay.
Oh,
Did not.
Nope.
Just saying, it could have been worse.
The things have to like congeal and coagulate in order for you to make.
They do not. They do not have to do that.
I'm really glad we're dropping frames right now.
Oh, no.
The internet was like, no,
Mhm.
no. I will allow a bunch of fucked up shit on me, but not that, guys.
Not this fuckery.
Jesus.
You're done.
You used too
Well, it
many of
seems to
the
be-
words in a row. Is the problem?
The stream is going fine. Was it a bunch of them?
Yeah, we've dropped like 2,000 frames since we started.
Shit. Oh, that's no fun. Well, morning comes. You all get your you all get your long rest.
Oh, good, because I burned a lot of a lot of resources.
Yes, a lot of you burned a lot of resources.
Very
Um,
proudly.
Yeah, it was worth
I
it.
mean, that's what spells are for, right?
Mr. DM, I have a question. Did Thurston fall asleep and get a long rest?
Your Constitution save was 25.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm torn. I actually have a question about your Constitution saving throw. About intent. What was Thurston's intent?
His intent was, so by the time they got back, it was like what, probably 10, like the main party, not the people who went out to party.
Yeah.
His goal was to go back into his office and keep working. Whether or not, now granted he hasn't slept for a night, so whether or not like midnight 1 a.m. hit and he passed out on his desk is the question. But his goal was like to stay up as long as he could and continue to work.
I'm gonna say if that was the intent, then Thurston has not gotten any sleep, and that is another level of exhaustion.
So few spell slots, guys.
Buddy.
The morning
Friend.
comes, and first we go to Faraday. Faraday. Okay, just a question.
Yeah,
Is there a fade to black moment?
I think so.
You are in control of that. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Get it, girl.
You
Oh, it's weirder
You-
because it was Dustin.
I know,
it's
it
a little
was.
very awkward.
You lost it. Go to somebody else. We'll come back.
RPing with my best friend who's also her husband said get it girl, and an RP with me, a gay man, is just there's layers to this and I don't
So
know
many
how to deal
layers
with
to
it.
that cake.
Oh. Um, you wake up. You still feel Jericho sleeping next to you. Jericho's place, quote unquote, was essentially he essentially went to like a Best Western, but got like the best room, but it's still at a Best Western. So like, yeah, it's bigger, but it's not that fancy by any
Yeah.
means. It's more function than anything else.
She's also been staying at the Nallard Estate for the past like 6 weeks.
And this is true. So it's a little cramped in here. You can see, and you could see this last night, that there's a sort of like a dining table where instead of food or cutlery or anything like that, it is replaced by all manner of different tools and glass vials, and you can see that there are small beakers filled with disgusting ass shit that he essentially just threw his coat over to prevent that from being seen. The sun is peeking through the window, and yeah, other than that, the room is essentially pretty nondescript. But Jericho is asleep next to you.
I will, after kind of just enjoying the quiet for a little bit, get up and actually kind of poke around on the table.
As you go to get up, you feel an arm reach out and grab you. And you're like, no. And then it
Okay.
eventually loosens as he's like, yes, yes.
Well, I was gonna let you sleep.
Mm-mm. I don't need to sleep. I was awake this whole time.
This whole time.
Mm-hmm. This is my awake face.
It's very awake with your eyes closed.
Mm-hmm. I can see through my eyelids. It's another advantage of being my kind of blood hunter. And he slowly opens his eyes, and you can see the sleep in the corners, and his hair is a mess. He says, "All right, I guess I fell asleep for a little bit."
You're allowed that.
Mm. Mm. So what are we doing? What's the plan?
That is a very good question.
Mm.
Although I don't know if that's just today.
Mm-hmm. And you see he kind of perks up a little bit and kind of sits up in the bed.
I know. Maybe I should let you wake up first.
I'm good.
Get some coffee.
I'm
You
good.
good?
I'm awake. I'm just at peace.
I do have to say, this is probably the most at peace I've felt in quite a while.
Well, it's mutual. He'll kiss you after he says that. Oh, Jesus. I just realized Cadriel's gonna kill me when she finds out, isn't she?
I think you'll be okay. Although
You say that. You say that. I've seen her fight.
I'm not so much worried about the physical altercations as much as the
Right.
verbal.
Mm.
She doesn't sleep either, so I'm sure my absence has been noted.
Eh. Fuck it. It was worth getting a knife through the throat.
At least with her, you
Um,
probably won't feel it.
That, blessings in disguise. Are you gonna be in town? Or do you guys have to leave again?
I think we're heading south. I don't know when though. But we're heading south, further south than I've ever been. And she hesitates for a minute. I need to go to the Feywild.
You sure?
Not with the intent of our deal. Although I wouldn't be surprised if that comes to it.
Well, from everything I've heard about your former boss, he sounds like a real asshole, so...
He is. But there's someone there I have to go rescue. And my intention is purely smash and grab, but eyes are everywhere and it can't seem to escape it even here. So I know the second I step foot there, not that I know how to get to the Feywild without going through Singorn, and Singorn's currently on lockdown.
Phew.
But the second I do, cover will be blown.
Well, there are other doors. They're not pleasant.
Do you know of any?
I may. A couple bridges were burned not too long ago from the last door I utilized, but I'd say given the circumstances, I'm sure I can mend that bridge.
I don't. I don't want you to be in danger just because of something I have to do. That's not fair.
Well, there's the thing where if I choose to do the thing, you know what? Maybe let's even take a step back. What if both of our paths just so happen to go in the same direction, and we just so happen to both have to go to the Feywild for a particular reason? You know, I've got a friend I've been meaning to visit.
I'm
Yeah.
Oh, who? You know, I'm from the
It's-
Feywild, so maybe I know him.
Yeah, it's his name is Schmermit.
Schmermit.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
He's,
A Schmader?
you know, I was gonna say gnome, but you know what? Schmader sounds a lot better.
I've heard of those. I've
Yeah,
never met
yeah.
one, but fascinating.
Oh, you'd love him. You'd love him.
I
Super
bet.
cool. Kind of annoying with the music, but you know what?
Hmm.
To each their fancy.
It seems to be a common thing.
Yeah, Schmaders. No, I mean it. I may have kind of jumped into this underground resistance thing a little too soon, because to be honest, they're still trying to figure their shit out, and at the end of the day, I want them to be safe and wait and learn, but I would prefer to come with you.
I don't want to be the reason you're not doing that, though. If Let me preface this by saying I know full well that whatever I say, you will still show up and we will happen to cross paths as you go visit your old college buddy Schmermit.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying. However, I appreciate it, and I would be lying if I said I didn't also appreciate you being there to have my back and keep an eye on everyone else, because I know I will not be able to go alone.
Yeah, you're not.
And
That's not a good plan.
as much as I would rather just disappear in the darkness of night and show up victorious. But
Reality tells a different story, I know.
I can't do it without my friends, including you. As nervous as it makes me to drag everyone into what is obviously a trap, even if they don't know they're springing a trap. And it's so stupid, but what can you do?
Well, you let me know. And in the meantime, I would like to steal any moment I can.
I think I can make
Feel
that
it.
happen. Breakfast?
Breakfast sounds wonderful.
Okay.
I need to put pants on.
I think everyone outside might... The shields might
They're
appreciate
probably
that.
already ahead of me on that, so I should probably catch up.
Yeah.
Both you and Jericho dress yourselves and go out in search of food. We'll say, just for the sake of time, you guys do happen across a small, like, bistro in Western. It's Western. It could be a little snobby.
Yeah. I will say Faraday does order extra, like, baked goods to
Good
bring
call.
back to the Nullard estate.
Sounds good. We are going to cut now to Cedo. See, that was the most dramatic turn. Cedo,
Mm-hmm.
you awaken to the sound of bells ringing somewhere else in the temple. not overbearingly so. It's actually quite pleasant to listen. And as you slowly open your eyes, you can see that where Scanlan was sleeping is an empty bed, and you are alone in this little bunkhouse area. There are, even though it is just like a dormitory for the priests here, this is still relatively nice. It's the most comfortable bed you've slept on. The pillow is super comfortable. The windows do have some nice drapes coming down, so the breeze kind of rolling in with the sunlight is just beautiful sight. You feel like you woke up in a luxury hotel, just totally relaxed and everything's fine.
Yeah, I think Sita will just kind of sit there and just take it all in and just really appreciate the moment.
Um, After a moment or two, the door to the dormitory opens, and you can see the older woman who had welcomed you in the night before. Well, welcomed you in. Who
Good
sort of
morning.
glances down. Oh, hello. You are surprisingly spry this morning.
Always.
We did manage to prepare some food before you depart. If you like, I can bring it to you. We do have a small kitchen as well.
Whatever, wherever you prefer. And here, he does the flower trick, of course.
Oh,
Thank you. Preemptively for breakfast.
She takes the
And thank
flower
you
and
and
go
thank you for letting me sleep here last night. I don't know what happened.
ahead. You were quite inebriated, thanks to the fire whiskey that you and your friend couldn't seem to stop talking about.
It was amazing.
Well, why don't you follow me, just so we don't get crumbs on the bed?
Okay.
She leads you out into essentially like the entry, like great hall area, where you can see there are a couple other small tables that are set up. You see a couple
Mhm.
other priests. You can see at the far table Scanlan sitting across from Pike. As you can see that they're having a rather tense conversation. But the priestess does lead you to an open seat and presents you with very simple breakfast. You get like 2 eggs, like a piece of bread,
Mhm.
and like a piece of ham.
This is amazing. Oh my gosh. What? Look at
What?
this. Usually, when I'm eating breakfast, it's crawling around still. Thank you so much for
Oh,
this
as you say
bounty.
that line, multiple priests and the priestess you were speaking with visually kind of cringe a little bit. You can overhear a priest kind of like a couple tables down just murmur to himself like, maybe I do just have to visualize it. You know, it is good. It is really good breakfast. This is delicious.
Do I hear that? Do I
Yeah,
hear?
it's
It,
pretty obvious.
most just taste like a weird version of like an almond. I think.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, what's your name?
Uh, Cito. I
Ew.
go over and bring my plate. Hi. They look like they're having a serious conversation over there.
Oh, yes. First, Baron is the name.
I
Pleasure
didn't
to meet
ask you
you.
your name, but that was rude of me. Hi, I'm Cito.
Fucking love this character. Um, he says, yes, it seems Pike and Scanlan are having a bit of a tough time. We're just giving them some distance.
Yeah, that's probably wise. He did hit the that fire whiskey pretty hard last night.
Yes, he and you as well, I believe. It's still surprising you are not suffering from any ill effects.
It's not so much out here. Maybe here is where I'm suffering more.
Yeah,
This
you are
breakfast,
getting some monster acid reflux.
yeah, not so much here, more Here. But this breakfast will help. Is there bread? Is there like toast on there or
Yeah,
anything?
yeah.
Like these this is gonna work it perfectly. Like, and I'll have some chew on a piece of bark later. You know, just
Oh,
standard.
I could give you another piece of bread to substitute the bark if you would prefer.
Oh, that's very kind. I will take the bread, but I'll probably still have the bark.
Where do you come from? He says as he just takes his toast and just puts it on your plate.
Well, from the Verdant Expanse, although I apparently say that wrong according to some of the locals. Um,
It's,
but
it's verdant.
oh, that's way fancier than however I'm pronouncing it. But yes, I'm from the forests from out there.
Oh, well, welcome. I, welcome to Western. I'm sure it's a little more loud than you're used to. You see, Baron is an older man.
Mhm.
Long graying hair that's kind of kept in one of like half ponytails just to keep the
Mhm.
bangs out of his face. Um, Weathered skin. You can see that there are some very light scar marks across
Mhm.
his face and one kind of going up his neck. Um, but he's, a little skinny and he's just enjoying the company.
Mhm.
Um, what? Oh, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, it's actually a little bit different. It's not necessarily noisier. See, where I come from, there's like this. Our neighbors are like this like group of howler monkeys, and they just make the most noise ever. Like so much. It's kind of like a morning wake up call. So the delightful bells that were just little chimes from the gods themselves, like it's amazing. It was like sweet kisses into my ears.
Well, the Temple of the Everlight typically does well in keeping their dormitories as comfortable and peaceful as possible.
Mm,
So if you ever find yourself in need of a place to stay, always check the temples.
thank you,
Hmm.
thank you.
Um,
So, how long
yeah,
have you been you're a priest here?
oh yes, this will actually be my third year as a priest of the Everlight. I
Congratulations.
fortunately came into her grace a little late in life, but she's provided me with the guidance I need to find happiness. So
That's what's
it's been,
important.
yes, indeed. It's been quite a journey, I can tell you
You
that.
said you've found happiness now?
Yes, unfortunately, there was quite many years of sadness and toil, but I feel at peace here, and I will continue to preach her light and her love to any who will listen.
Well, I know life can be difficult sometimes, but as my parents always said, you have to keep a smile on as best as you can, no matter how difficult life gets.
Smart people and words to live by.
Thank you. They aren't people, though, but it's okay. That's
That's
another
great.
conversation for another time. Or right now.
Oh, I wouldn't want to pry. It's just curious. But regardless, words to live by.
Mm.
What brings you to Westron?
Well, I was actually sent on a life journey of sorts from our colony's elders um, to find my real parents. I have wonderful adoptive ones, um, but as part of one's journey from becoming just a Joey to being an adult, it's totally just one of those things that every single one of us has to go on a life journey, and this one is mine. That was assigned to me, is to find where I come from.
That's quite inspirational. Joey? Yeah, I don't need to pry. I apologize.
Oh,
Um,
Yes, it's another word for baby or child.
Right. Well,
Mhm.
I do hope you find them. And, you know, he reaches under his robes and pulls a symbol of the Everlight, clutches it,
Mhm.
says, and kind of just regards you and just says, "May the Everlight guide your path to your destiny."
And
And
also with you.
and you can't. I love turning and seeing Sam just head desk. um, he says, "I do truly hope that you do find your birth parents."
Thank you, and thank you for sharing breakfast with me. And what was your name again?
Baron.
Baron. Nice to meet you again. And forgive me for forgetting your name
Oh,
instantly. There was
it's
just
all
so
right.
many shiny things around here. I don't even know what to do with myself.
Well, you're welcome to visit any time. I would love the company.
Thank you, and thank you for the toast. He puts it in his pocket, like.
Anytime, there's plenty more.
And if you ever need me to bring you some tasty bugs for you to try, you seem interested in that. I'll make sure to bring some for you.
Well, it's about time for my backgammon game. But he does rise and give you a little bit of a bow. And does.
Backgammon.
Listen, backgammon's a really fun game, okay?
That's awesome.
It
Oh,
is a really
sorry.
fun game. Sorry, it wasn't a joke or anything about it being a game for old people, even though it is. Anyway, uh, so Cito, what do you do with the rest of your morning?
Um. Hmm. Well, I'll probably just give like a wave to Pike and Scanlan just because they clearly look like they're having a serious conversation, and I just wasn't vibing on that energy. I'm like, gonna stay away from that.
Sounds good.
So I'm gonna go back out and just into just see if I can start finding my friends here.
Okay. You do get a half wave from both Scanlan and Pike as they're continuing to discuss, and we'll say for the sake of ease, as you are making your way through the streets, you do spot a familiar to some looking bistro, where sitting at an outdoor table, because of course they are
Drinking milkshake from
Faraday.
a shared glass with two
Yes,
straws.
yes, yep.
What does Faraday look like at this moment?
Uh,
She was like strawberry lemonade summer.
mm-hmm. It is
Does she wear
definitely.
pink when she's strawberry lemonade or like,
It's.
red?
I think she's still red, like mostly like red, but it's not. Yeah, it's definitely that strawberry lemonade
I
kind of.
I want to say that pink hair is probably more a spring Faraday thing.
That's spring Faraday's hair was green.
I think it depends on the season or like during the season, but yeah, it's definitely pink lemonade kind of.
It has a parasol in it.
Watermelon sugar.
We will say that Cito, you happen upon these two lovebirds sitting at a table. You recognize one of them as Faraday, the other not so much.
Oh, hi Faraday. How are
Oh,
you?
Jesus Christ!
Hi, random stranger.
Oh, that's a new
Looking
greeting.
up.
Hi, how's it going, buddy?
We're
You
Good.
can see Jericho, who you have not
Oh,
met
Cito. Nice to meet you.
yet.
I'm
Nice.
assuming he's taller than me.
yeah.
I'm just.
He is human. He looks to be Marquesian, which in our world is more like Middle Eastern descent. He has a few scars kind of lining his face, some going down his neck. Longer dark hair, and you can see There's a little bit of hair all right about here that's a little frayed, and you can see some sort of brand or burning scar that's placed on that spot. Um, more lithe, not like more like a swimmer's build. And yeah, he says, "Nice to meet you, Cito. Is he one of yours?"
Tito's a new friend. Actually, the possibly the guide we're gonna use to take us south.
Interesting. So you're from Verdant Expanse, yeah?
Yes, that's the proper way to say it.
Weren't
Thank
you-
Was I saying it wrong the whole time?
No, you were right.
No, I've been saying it wrong apparently, but I'm gonna still call it Verdant Expanse.
Live your truth, whatever it is you want to do.
Weren't you with
Faraday.
Weren't you
Go
with
ahead.
Dermot?
I'm sorry. Yes. And then we got a bunch of fire whiskey,
Oh no.
and then I ended up passing out at the Everlight Temple, which was very delightful. I even got a piece of toast or bread.
Great.
that's-
Would you like
What?
some?
I'm actually full from. She like points to the
You've
plate.
already torn it in two.
Two. I'm good. I can't believe he just left you there.
I will have to say I was probably just knocked out pretty much instantly. That was probably when I tucked the bread back into my pocket. I have not slept on a bed
Just
ever.
End of sentence.
she's like leaning like
Period.
period.
No, most places I
Oh.
sleep are just like a bushel of leaves and branches. That was delightful. And then the bells, it was amazing. I
Yeah.
didn't realize that level of comfort was even achievable. Wow.
Jeez.
So, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm just so
no.
excited about the morning and my bread.
He smashes it.
Still smushing in your pocket
It's
now.
good thing to be
It
torn to
crunches.
fucking bits by the
Is
time he
it
goes
bread
to
or
eat it.
is it bread or
He's gonna
toast?
have, he's gonna have like panko in his pocket by the time he's done.
It's just a pocket of breadcrumbs at
Crumbs,
one point.
yeah.
It's like,
Jesus.
Put some chicken cutlets in there. You can have a side meal later.
You've got like
yeah,
pigeons
it's like a
following
shake and
you.
bake.
Yeah.
Gonna say at least we could find him easily. Just follow
Yeah.
the trail.
Follow the trail.
Well, yeah, come find me.
Like a flower girl.
Yes.
Well, welcome to civilization.
Thank you.
The beds are nice. It's better than the parting gift I got at the last temple I stayed at, but we don't need to get into details on that. Nice to meet you, Cito.
Nice to meet you as well.
Are you
Well, yeah, do you know where the rest of the group is? I feel like I'm getting an awkward energy here.
No, you know what? We were just about to head back.
I was gonna pay the tab. I'll take care of that. He gets up and
Oh,
as he
oh God,
takes a
I
step,
messed everything up,
stop.
didn't I? Oh
he'll
no.
get up, take a step towards the counter, and then stop. Fuck it, and he'll turn and kiss you on the cheek, and then go inside.
Nice.
Red.
As he walks in, he just gives a thumbs
red.
up.
I mean, this is gonna
Faraday,
be my
is
morning.
that your husband?
No, no, he's not. No,
That was a lot of no's.
that
So I'm guessing
yeah,
it's a no. Well, you two seem to like each other a lot, which is really great.
we do.
Because he seems to put a nice smile on your face, which is one of the most important things in life.
That's very sweet, and he does. How about we take show you back to the manor.
Sure.
Where there are
Yeah,
others that you
that's
can latch
fine.
on.
I
I
could've-
can push
I
you
could've
on
just-
Dermot.
I could have just wandered around this area for a while. I just kind of look at this. I'm assuming there's like shops and everything around.
Yes, there are smaller shop. There's like flower shops. There's some that are selling finery. Pretty much any small like general store you'd find in here.
No, we'll walk you back. I need to go back anyway and check on Dermot if he wasn't with you. Oh, that makes me nervous.
Yeah. No, he was not.
Okay.
He wasn't
he
at
got-
breakfast or anything. But I guess I could have looked around the actual temple itself. But I just kind of left.
No, knowing Dermot, you would have known he was there.
That's my guess.
What is that supposed to mean?
What is that
No, I
not
know
supposed to
exactly-
mean?
I know
Says
exactly
the
what
wind.
Says the wind. Where was that? Where did that come
Yeah.
from? She just always
Yeah,
hears Dermot in the back of her head. Like realistically, that's what it is.
That's
you guys have spent enough
unfortunate.
time around
Yeah.
each other. That's not that hard to believe.
Oh God, is he the little voice in her head? Like the like?
You know, some
Is he
people
the?
call that a conscience?
Yeah. Oh no, that's so bad.
Little do we
That's so
know
bad.
that Dermot doesn't actually exist. Dermot is just Faraday's imaginary friend that everybody else just
We've just
No, that you've just been
Okay.
indulging her this
He
entire
imagined
time.
so hard he became real.
I hate that.
If
No,
this were an M. Night Shyamalan
movie?
movie, absolutely.
I hate it
I
so
mean-
much.
I mean,
You
And
said
see where
Dermot
it
was
goes.
born in a field. Faraday had just been having a picnic there earlier
Yeah.
that day.
Guys,
she just dreamed.
guys,
She dreamed really hard in the Feywild. That's
Yeah.
what happened.
I mean,
guys, can I tell you a secret? I see satyrs.
He's like, yeah, it's right there. It just popped up out of the tall grass.
Jesus.
um,
God,
is Jericho back by now?
Jericho is back by now.
Okay. Do you want to walk with us back to the estate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Brace
Seriously,
yourself.
The least you can do is walk her home.
As you say, brace yourself, he proudly takes your hand.
She'll give it a little bit of a squeeze. Take her box of baked goods. Offer one to Cito.
Oh,
Can I like
Uh,
open that?
what are these things?
There's croissants. That one's got chocolate chips.
Chocolate chips are good. Definitely a fan of those.
I know you.
Was there paper or anything on it?
Yeah, they were in like little cups of like the paper cup
Oh
wrap.
no.
No, I bite through it.
Oh no! You're not supposed to.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I-
Let the boy learn.
This is what?
It's better with coffee. Coffee.
Yeah.
I'm
The
gonna save the
coffee
rest of this
pixie
for
is
later
like,
too.
"Ooh, la
Just
la."
in the pocket with the
Yeah,
rest
I
of
put
it.
it in another pocket. Like now I have
Oh my
snacks for
God.
later.
Dear Christ. The end of this
Thank you for
campaign, he's
sharing
gonna
it.
have a whole goddamn bakery that's all expired and rock hard. in
Oh
his pocket.
god.
I'll
Well, you
probably
never
still
know
try to
when you
eat
might
it.
meet a hag.
All right. Let's go.
Onward, new friends.
As you guys start making your way back, we are going to cut to the Nollard estate. We're going to cut to that morning. Jules is making his rounds and stops first at Arthea and Cadriel's room and does a light knock on the door. Breakfast is prepared for you all. By all means, come on downstairs when you wish.
Or coffee.
We do have 2 pots of coffee ready to go.
So one for me and some for everybody else. Okay, good. I'll be down soon.
You hear a light laugh before he says, "Of course." And then he,
Is Faraday back yet?
no, I have not seen Lady Faraday since yesterday evening.
Good to know.
Damn
He
it.
doesn't know what the fuck's going
No,
on.
he doesn't.
doesn't know that you got some.
And breakfast. Damn.
Mm-hmm. Jules will knock on Thurston's door. Young sir, breakfast is ready with some coffee.
Does he knock on the bedroom door or the office door?
Bedroom door first.
After a minute, he'll hear the office door open, and then Thurston will open his bedroom door. And Thurston, honestly, probably at this point, looks like shit. He hasn't slept in 2 nights. He didn't change his clothes last night. Like, he looks like shit. So he just opens the door. He goes, "Oh, it's breakfast already.
What's wrong?
I'm sorry?
Thurston, is everything all right?
I lost track of time in the evening. The morning, I suppose it is, I should say. I will be down after I freshen up." And he kind of like looked down at himself.
All right. I'll make sure that a cup of coffee is ready for you. And you see, he gives this expression of worry that you've not seen come out of Jules before. But he bows and steps away. Cadriel and Arthea, you head downstairs. Usual breakfast is laid out before you. Jules is very quiet as he is preparing a plate and a cup of coffee.
Kind of look over at Arthea. Are you gonna stare into that orb all day today?
All day today. Why? I need to head back to the observatory at some point.
I have to go to the temple.
I can walk you.
Well, I
Not
don't
that-
need you to walk me. I just was
Okay, then I
wondering.
won't walk you. Fine.
Wow. What did you drink last night? Sassy this morning.
Came out of your bag. Explains it a lot, actually.
Was it the mead? Oh, it could have been the one I mixed with fire whiskey to see what happened.
Actually, that would go a really long way to explaining yesterday. Yesterday was fun. Not the whole possession thing that happened early in the day, but the concert part at night.
Yeah, that was weird. I kind of wanted to go explore that door again a little more today. I mean, figured it would have been bad to push the button last night, but if I can see somebody coming out today, maybe I can get more of a look at it. I don't know. I was gonna see if Faraday wanted to come, but apparently she's having naked time still, or whatever she did.
What?
Well,
just
she
went
didn't
for a
come
walk.
home.
She just went for a walk.
She didn't come home. That means like one thing.
No, it doesn't. It means a lot of things. They could have sat outside. They could have, like, I'm sure there's all night places in the city. They could have gone to the temple. They could have gone looked at the stars. They might have had a picnic.
At
I mean, what
this
do
point,
you do?
Dermot comes
Arthea,
downstairs
all
and
of those
says,
things-
I highly doubt she's at a temple right now.
Yeah, I mean,
Unless the
Why?
night went really, really well, then maybe she's at a temple at this point.
yeah, I mean, Dermot, you should have seen her cut out on us last night. She was like, yeah, fuck y'all.
Good for her.
I'm
I don't
bringing your
recall her
assholes
saying that.
baked goods.
I don't. That's not how I recall the conversation going.
She didn't. I'm just kidding. But I'm sure that they were not just, I mean, every single one of those things you said could be used as code for something else. So, sure, I'm sure they were looking at the stars.
Actually, speaking of temples, Dermot will grab whatever is available to just like grab and run. Dermot has someone to pick up at the Temple of the Everlight, and B, 2 other gnomes that he wanted to check in on in the morning.
Did I go
Cujo
with you last night?
Is this bistro like on a direct path between the manor and Temple of the Everlight?
Yes, it is.
It is? Damn it.
You wanted us to miss each other, didn't you?
I wanted to, like, 2 ships in the night. I
Like-
wanted to miss each other.
Yeah, yeah. You want to 2 ships in the night and make the DM fucking figure that shit out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gave you a rock off.
Yes, and I continue to punish for it.
I know. As you guys are having this conversation, Jules peeks in and just says, I don't mean to impose. He didn't sleep again last night.
Something that he's done before.
Never.
I mean, I know I get absorbed in my work sometimes.
Even when it's an important contract or accounting business he must attend to, he understands that a good night's rest is important, especially when presenting yourself to nobles. I've never seen him like this. And I don't quite want to. I suppose I don't want to cause any trouble, but it's worrisome.
Well, what do you think we should confront him? I mean, I could cast sleep on him.
That might be a last resort scenario. That being said, I wouldn't rule it out.
That's fantastic.
In my role, I don't believe my words would find purchase. And if I know Thurston, I know that he's one to rarely reach out.
Sounds like a lot of people we know. She looks pointedly at Cad.
I just, if in your planning for your business throughout the day, if you could, I suppose, check in with him, that may help.
Has he not left his room yet? Did he request that you bring food upstairs?
No, I did state that it was all down here. He said he was going to freshen up, and he sort of looks off into the distance for a moment, and Arathi, you can see this glow go across his eyes for just a moment. It seems he is still preparing himself.
It's a smidge creepy, but okay, cool.
Well, it does take him.
He's a construct. I mean, come on.
That's what happens when you live in the version of Smart House.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
saying, he's like
Yeah.
in the middle of like washing like his junk, and all of a sudden he's being stared at, like awkward.
First off, Rhodes, I understand that there is a bit of a disconnect with how the technique goes, but what is this?
Nope,
It was
that's how it goes.
just a general
That's-
gesture of the concept.
Lazily hanging there.
I had to stop myself from saying what I was originally going to say, which is much
I
more
heard
explicit.
a slight
So-
hesitation there.
The hand gesture got a little bit left to the wayside in the brain trying to get the words right.
I am genuinely curious at what you would have said.
Oh, she was gonna say balls.
Yeah, but he was watching his balls.
Wait, what's so
And I was like, oh, let me try to be a little bit more PC.
oh my god.
fine."
No.
Well, that's going on the highlight reel.
Yep. Let me just get that clip.
Clipped.
I've actually I've got Twitch up and I can snag some clips as they happen. So yay.
Oh.
I hit unpause just as I heard junk. Oh man. I love this guy. But yes. Jules says he is still cleaning himself up.
Well then, do you have an estimate for how long that normally takes? Because
Well, even
I don't
when
want
he is free of meetings, typically about 45 minutes to an hour, making sure his hair is in order, that the braid is in place, his outfit is chosen. Although now I don't quite know.
to go up there in like, I don't know, 30 minutes, maybe. Could probably catch him before he's put together.
Sure, that's a good plan.
We can bring up some food, bring up some coffee, definitely.
Thank you. I
You
will.
could just knock him out and make him sleep. Just saying.
That's
Yeah,
what
that
I
is the
said, but
second
apparently that's
option.
last resort.
That has been offered.
I mean, I could do it really sneaky. Butt of my sword.
No, 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 no.
You hear. He wouldn't know the difference between being conscious and not by the time we get up there.
Oh,
I apologize. It's still
I-
early for me as well.
oh, cranky sword. I think maybe we can leave those options for, day 3 or 4. That's when you start to get really loopy and you see things.
Yeah, that
I'll
might
take your
not be
word
a
for
good
that.
idea. Well, I'll be back in maybe a half hour or so. If you're gonna do anything crazy, wait till I get back. I want to watch.
Okay.
And Dermot will leave.
Okay. Dermot, you head out of the state. As you travel down the road, you can see, sort of sticking out like a sore thumb, Faraday and Jericho, and maybe a foot away is Cedo doing his march down the street. You weren't on the road for maybe 10 minutes before you saw that
Okay.
they were making their way over. As you approach, Jericho definitely murmurs in your ear, "Okay, just gotta get Dad's approval. It'll be fine."
Fine.
As I approach them, I say, "Wow, I wasn't expecting to see you up so early." And as I say that, I pointedly look at all 3 of them.
How's
You
it
missed
going?
breakfast this morning.
Well, I grabbed something to go on my way out of the estate. I was
Don't worry, I also grabbed you a little something. Hands half of the bread.
I take it.
Pocket bread.
Thanks, Cedo. And I will take a bite of it because I
It
am
tastes like
that
pocket.
Tastes like
tastes like
pocket.
pocket. I mean, I grew up eating berries and leaves off the ground. Pocket bread is just fine.
Then between pocket toast and pocket bacon, like we've got a whole meal.
Oh,
That's a sandwich.
it is a sandwich.
Yep.
I didn't get a chance to talk to you too much after the concert last night. Did you guys have fun?
It was a great show. It was very enjoyable. You are a prodigy with your violin.
Oh well, thank you. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
It was amazing.
Thank you.
Like always.
It's why we do it, for the entertainment and enjoyment of others.
Did you have a
you
fun
guys-
after party?
I did. Scanlon and I hung out and we went drinking with Cedo. And I had to make the executive decision that we stop at the Temple of the Everlight. Given your state of being. I didn't know if we were gonna make it much farther than that.
I'm totally fine.
You didn't happen to see Scanlan this morning, did you?
I did, and Pike, and they seemed like they were having a very serious conversation. So I just sat and chatted with my new friend, Priest Baron, and he was really nice. Wants to try bugs. I don't know.
Is
I
he?
guess he wants to try bugs.
Is he a human?
I think so. Was he human?
He was human, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He appeared to be human.
Weird palate for a human, but I mean, depending on the bug, I guess it could do worse.
Faraday looks at
Um,
Jericho. Do you eat bugs?
How do I put this nicely?
No.
Depending on the bug.
No.
I mean, nobody likes stink bugs.
Just
Those taste
no.
gross.
Just no. No. I just no.
I look at Jericho. I look him like in the eye and put a hand on his arm, and I say, "If you ever see someone eating stink bugs, run the other way."
Pretty sure I'd be doing that if I saw anybody eating any bugs.
Some
Unless it
bugs
was
are
my
okay.
target, but that's a side note.
Some of them taste like almonds.
Beetles. I like back and see beetles.
Some beetles. Some beetles.
All right.
That's more for when you need a
You
nice
can
nourishing meal.
you can go wrong with beetles, but
Good
Jericho
crunch.
will lean over to Faraday and just be like, you know that feeling when you have a really good breakfast and everything's right with the world, and then maybe 15 minutes later your friends start talking about eating bugs.
Weirdly, probably not the first time that's happened to me. So yes.
I will keep that in mind.
She just kind of like gestures with her free hand to the audience in front of them.
I was actually heading back to the temple. You said Pike and Scanlan were there? Okay.
They were eating breakfast. I don't know if they'll be still eating breakfast. But I don't know if they were actually eating much breakfast or if they were just kind of talking. They seemed like they were talking a lot. I was just getting like this weird vibe, so I didn't want to like go by them. Just a real, like, you know what? I'm gonna stick around with Baron over here.
Well, I did want to pop over there, check in on Scanlan. It would seem that everyone else is having breakfast at the estate. So I'll meet you guys over there in like an hour.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll meet you inside.
Sounds good.
All right. The two groups part. Let's cut back to the estate real quick. Thurston, how long do you spend cleaning yourself up and getting ready?
It's probably about a half an hour, 45 minutes. So it's not too off from his normal. Whether or not that's because he's just moving slower because he's tired as fuck. He spends probably a good few minutes like staring in front of the mirror, essentially trying to like use his ability to change his face to not look so exhausted. And realizes like, oh no, I'm just so tired. We've gone past that.
Everyone looks the same.
Doesn't matter what he tries.
You try to like get rid of the bags under the eyes and you just focus on them for a little bit, and they do disappear too much as the lower eyelid starts to sink into your eye, into the socket, and then you're like, no.
Wait.
Um, after you, do you end up like stepping out of your room?
Yes. So after that, like, after he's dressed and after he spends that time in the mirror realizing that there is no hope of trying to hide this at this point, he does head downstairs to grab food and coffee.
All right. Well, Cadriel and Arthea, just as you guys are preparing to take food up, you do hear some footsteps making their way down the stairs. And you
Oh.
can see a very exhausted Thurston.
We were just getting ready to come
Thank
up and
you.
bring you something to eat.
And coffee. Arthia's holding like an entire pot of coffee.
He will take that. Thank you. I didn't know I needed to be found. I was in my room. It's kind of
Where
easy
you've been.
hiding.
Yeah.
Did you sleep?
I lost track of time. It happens.
Does. Seems to happen a lot lately.
Well, our lives are very interesting lately.
That is certainly one word for it.
As you guys are having this little brief, intense conversation, you hear additional footsteps making their way down the stairs. And you can see Sabrina looking impeccable as always. She approaches and says, "Good morning, Cad and Arthea, and oh my goodness, Thurston, did you get any rest?"
He lost track of time again.
Yes.
Do we need to discuss sleeping habits and to put work to rest when it comes time?
No. Apologies. I will make sure it doesn't happen again.
For a moment, you can see the hard facade of Sabrina falter. She says, "Is everything all right?"
And he takes like just a second too long to respond, like unnoticeably, like everyone even would know with no like everybody can tell. He goes, just a very long night.
Well, I'm going to be taking care of some business today. I'm giving you the day off. There was supposed to be a meeting today with the Woodwards that I'm sure we can reschedule. Um, I do have some other business to attend to, but the day is yours to do with what you will.
That's very kind of you, though I'm sure we wouldn't want to do anything that would upset the Woodwards, so please don't hold off on my account if it's important.
You know, I think that we could all use some relaxing time after the last several days. Thurston, is there a spa that we could go enjoy some time in today? You as well with us?
Mm, I
That
I
actually sounds like a brilliant idea, Cadriel. Let me put in a word with the owner, and I will make sure to set up an appointment for you, say, noon today.
It'd be lovely. I know after swinging those torches around last night, my shoulder could use a little bit of care.
Oh, right. I heard it was quite the exciting concert. I'm unfortunately sorry that I had missed it. But yes, I will go and speak with them right away. And It is shit. I didn't have a name of a place ready for this.
Why you
Salt and
didn't prep
soak.
the name of a spa in Western?
Oh, fantasy name generators, you are amazing.
Mwah.
I never leave home
Mwah.
without my fantasynamegenerator.com. Not a sponsor.
Hashtag
I'll
not
sponsor them.
spawn.
Yeah, hell, we should send them money.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It is called the Romarin Radiant. It is actually not too far from the Merchant District. I'll have Jules direct you a little bit more clearly. But yes, I will go and make that appointment for you and enjoy the day.
Thank you. I don't really know if the others will be back. I know Dermot said he would be back around noon or so. I'm sure he would love to get his hoofs polished, or I
I
don't really
will-
know how a satyr would get groomed at a spa. That's not something I've ever thought of before.
Well,
You think
I
they'll
will
give him
make
one
sure
of those
to.
little?
Like a
Bandana?
You
The
think
dog
they'll,
groomer?
do you think they'll paint the hoof like it's nails?
I mean, Dermot does need to get his hooves trimmed every once in a while.
God.
He usually just goes to a farrier, though.
Well, I mean, now he could soak his hooves in lavender scented water and
Oh.
My gosh, is that why he like rubs his hooves against a tree to like
Yeah.
a cat with a scratching post?
is
That
a
makes
thing?
so much more sense now. I've never wanted to ask. It seemed rude.
What did
You
you
just
think it
ask a
was?
satyr why he rubs his hooves against a tree.
I didn't think that I could ask. I thought it was just a Feywild tradition of some sort.
Like marking
Hmm.
it as history? Suppose
I
it's
mean-
Or
better
a
than the
sign of
alternative.
respect. I don't know anything about the
greeting?
Fey. Yeah.
He's
That's
adding the
actually a fair
quotes.
point.
Well,
I will ensure that the owners are prepared for your entire entourage. And that's a wonderful idea, Cadriel. It's a very good activity to help ease the mind and relax the muscles. All that. I apologize. I'm going to step out to get that done. I will be back in a few hours. Jules, thank you so much for breakfast. Jules says, "Oh, yes, my lady." And she steps out.
so I suppose we've got a few hours before we head out now. I know you wanted to go to the observatory, Arthea, but you mind going later?
Sure.
You can walk me to the Raven Queen Temple later on your way if you wish.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have anything going on tonight, correct?
No?
I mean, it's gonna take me some time to copy this thing down.
You only transfer a few hours, I'm sure.
That's what
You
I'm
don't
saying.
have any plans otherwise.
We don't have any plans that I'm forgetting. We're not breaking into anything.
Well, if you want me to, I'm sure we could.
Let's
No,
not encourage that.
No, I'm
That's
very
not-
proud of you for not entering the shady possible hideout in the building last night.
Yeah, I do have some questions about why Jericho was hanging out around there.
Well, when Faraday gets back, you can ask those. She is coming back, right?
Faraday
Presumably.
didn't come back last night?
No.
No, she went off with
Oh.
Jericho, and that's the last we saw of her.
Arthea
never
thinks
seen
they were
again.
stargazing.
Who's never seen again.
Kat says that apparently that means something different than what I'm used to.
Well, I just hope that Jericho treated her with the respect and kindness she deserves.
I mean,
Didn't you
He
threaten
better
him,
have.
Faraday?
I
Did
did.
you threaten him? You did.
Of course.
Right before they left. Or she
Of
left.
course.
Okay.
Arthea, you could ask her when they come back. whether she was gazing at the stars or gazing at the stars.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Your tone
As you guys are
Not.
changes.
having this conversation,
Your tone
Jesus
changes, but I don't
Christ.
understand the difference.
As you guys are having this conversation, Jesus. Cito, Jericho, and Faraday are approaching, and you guys can see Sabelina step out onto the road. And she has a conversation with a carriage that is out waiting for her. And as she steps in, she sees you all and gives a light wave and steps in, and the carriage rolls away. At this point, you are now approaching the manor. We'll say you just walk in as you can hear the tail end of that magical conversation.
Fuck.
Well, well, well.
I brought breakfast.
Look at what the cat dragged in.
Hello, Cadriel.
Jericho,
Morning. Arthea, nice to see you.
I'm gonna take that box of pastries.
Yep. Just
Thurston, you look like shit.
that's mean.
Thanks.
I meant it with
rude.
love. I meant
uh,
it with love. I mean,
Welcome
opposed to
to the
you.
Nollard Estate.
who looks
may have been a little forward.
Was your night?
It was fun. We went for a walk.
yeah, and
And none of your business.
I look at Arthea and go, see?
Are those eggs? And he like bypasses everyone to go towards the breakfast table.
And don't
Shout
worry,
after him,
everyone. I
"There's
confirm they are not husband and wife.
Well,
Okay.
depending
also
on what
have-
they've been getting up to, perhaps they should be.
No.
Yeah.
I also
think
have some
that-
bread if
that
anybody
depends
would
on
care
which
for some.
country you're in.
Oh, but why buy the whole
Oh.
cow when you get the milk for free? There's
Okay.
Well, no,
Hey.
but sometimes in some places, it's sort of automatic. It happens.
I'm sorry, what?
You know,
As
Two
as you
people-
guys are
when
having
two
this
people, when
conversation,
two people really love each other and express that, then they're just after that time they're treated as one.
Is that how it works with the Fae? He's like eating his food.
Maybe that's what the hooves on the tree means.
Jules approaches Jericho and says, Jesus Christ. Jules approaches Jericho and goes, yes, hello. My name is Jules. I am a servant here at the estate. Is there anything I can get you? And Jericho goes, hi, yeah. Can I get coffee? But an Irish coffee.
Drink
Right.
too much there, sir. We're going to the spa today. Thurston's mother's arranging it for us all.
Oh, wow. I guess it pays to know nobles.
It's definitely a nicer way of living here.
I suggested that we could all use a little bit of time, and she thought that was a good idea. And I'll kind of like
Okay.
covertly give Faraday a little bit of a pointed look, not about like her sexy time with Jericho, but like the clear fact that like Thurston looks like ass and like we're trying to get him out of his room.
Okay. Sounds like fun. Allow us some relaxation before our next adventure.
Exactly.
What do you do at a spa?
Oh well.
You eat at a
So-
spa?
There will be food. I suppose it depends on which treatment you want. They'll probably take a survey and ask you what sorts of things you're most concerned about, and then they will tailor the service to what you are interested in.
He's totally gonna eat the cucumbers that they put on his eyes, isn't he?
Just thinking that. That was my immediate first thought. Immediate first thought.
Snacks.
I would, but I don't think I'm invited, which is okay. I can always have coffee here, which is amazing.
Oh,
She
Jules
was
please.
arranging
he
it for
holds
her.
the pot of coffee, just like kind of cradles it to his chest like a baby.
As my mother said, the entire Nallard entourage is invited, and that includes you as well if you would like to attend.
she said she was going to give them
Sure.
warning.
That seems like a
Time to
apropos
prepare.
thing to do before any of our arrivals.
She did not use the phrase warning, but I'm sure that's also what happened.
I mean, I feel like it's fair to warn if, people have special needs, like hooves. It's not common.
Scratching post available, I guess.
Well, no, I think they have people
Thurston
who
would
do
just like
that.
stare at Ken like, you can't say.
What are you?
We
I
were
get a
just
cup of
wondering why.
coffee and dip my pocket bread into it and start eating it.
There you go.
Well, Thurston was just wondering why Dermot just like scratches his hooves against a tree.
I'm sure he would be
Cito,
glad to tell
do
you.
not need to roll another Constitution saving throw, as you still have some residual caffeine in your system from the day before. So it does
shit.
rejuvenate you a little bit, but it's not driving you as batty as it was the day
That's the
before.
beginning of the addiction.
Yeah, that's the addiction
Yep.
kicking in.
Next step, it's when we hit the road, then you go through withdrawals.
Oh.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. When we leave, we should probably make sure we bring some of that with us.
Coffee sweats.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
Jericho says, well, it was nice to see you all again. I actually am going to be tending to some business here. But that being said, and he turns towards Faraday, enjoy your spa. That sounds nice and fancy.
I'll walk you out.
And you don't have to. It's okay.
It's a big place. You might get lost.
It's true. The 10 feet from this place to the door is it's
He
quite
just
treacherous.
doesn't really want to kiss you in front of us, Jericho. Wise up, come on.
Nice to meet you, Jericho. Thanks for being my new friend.
You can kiss her
Anytime,
here
Cito.
if you want to.
You can. We already know that you do that.
I can
I
confirm.
mean-
I saw it
Uh,
happen.
Come on. Just like take him by the arm and gently guide him out of the room and towards sanctuary.
As you guys approach the front door, he says, honestly, I was expecting worse.
Yeah.
Well, go enjoy your spa day. That sounds very nice. Keep me posted. Let me know how stuff with planning to go south goes.
I will. I have to talk to the group anyway, so. But I will let you know. And we'll catch up later.
Absolutely. And he turns to leave, and just as you turn to leave, he turns back, grabs you, and kisses you in full view of all of you. And then after he kind of backs away, he does this to Cadriel.
See?
And then walks out the door.
She just says, I hope you used protection.
Duh!
Good job.
What?
Then he will.
Did you guys get in a fight
Safe.
last night?
Of sorts, I'm sure.
She'll come back in and she'll sit. And, no, but I found out some answers, so you don't have to go breaking and entering. As much as I know you are itching to do that.
I mean, I might still go breaking and entering, but the answers would be helpful before I go do that.
Probably help the breaking and entering to be.
That mysterious door in the building from last night.
Mm-hmm.
There is a group of people here in the city, families of the miners from Craghammer. Well, it's a village outside Craghammer, I think. But apparently the way they extract that metal or mining that mineral, for the swords, for the weapons, is dangerous. And
Of course it is.
they're here to, well, she kind of like gestures in like an overarching unhelpful way. I don't know. But it's an opposition, I guess would be the best word for it.
Are they trying to find the weapons or destroy the production? Are they trying to seize the means of production? I mean, gosh.
I
You say
don't.
that and Thurston has a heart attack. Like, excuse me, we don't use terminology such as this in this household. This is a capitalist household.
They're trying to unionize. I don't think they really know what they're doing yet. From the way it was sounding, they just want to make it known what kind of dealings are going on up there. But that's all I know.
That's still somewhat concerning, I guess, since, well, I don't know how the public would feel about such things. And while I don't really care if they string up Woodward, I do care about your family getting roped into this.
I'm sure that. Sorry. If we understand what their aim is, perhaps we can be helpful, directive. I have no desire to have this metal brought into our country at all. If they're able to cause enough discord that it stops or even slows the import of it, that could be helpful. But we don't know what they need. Do they need a better plan? Do they need funding? What is it that they're trying to accomplish exactly?
It didn't seem very organized. I don't know what they need. I don't know if they know what they need. I think they're just a group of angry people looking to do something, which is dangerous in of itself, but I don't know. That's all I have.
At that moment, we're going to cut over to Dermot real quick. Dermot, you make your way back to the Temple of the Everlight, and stepping through the doors, you can see the priestess who you had spoken with the night before, along with several other priests as they are essentially maintaining, kind of cleaning up. Breakfast had just finished. And as you enter, the priestess looks up and says, "Oh, hello. How may I help you?"
This is going to sound weird. I was looking for Lady Trickfoot and her husband, but I don't want them to know I'm here. I'm looking to surprise them.
All right. They actually just left here a few minutes ago. I'm not quite sure where they had went, but it seemed as though it was a rather tense conversation, and they seemed to be much happier than they were previously. I
I see.
unfortunately don't quite know where they made their way to, but if you'd like, I could, I suppose, let them know you stopped by, or is there any particular message you need sent to her?
No, when or if they return, um, just let them know that Dermot O'Ferry wanted to check in and make sure that everything was okay.
I will pass along the message. Obviously, I could see that you made it back home safely. Last night?
Yes, and thank you again for taking care of Scanlan and my other compatriot.
It's not the first time we've taken care of Scanlan. It was the first time for taking
I
care of Cito.
I'm sure it won't be the last, at least for Scanlan.
I would hope it does end up changing at some point, but until then, our dormitory is still open to those who need it.
I greatly appreciate it. I'll leave you to your worship. Thank you.
Sure. And as you say that, there is an older man who starts sort of approaching the front door, walking past the two of you, and says, "Lady, I'm going to be stepping out for a while. I will be back before the next sermon, and I can deliver or take care of whatever you need." The lady says, sure, yes. Step carefully. There's lots of people out there, but yes, we look forward to your return." And, "Oh, thank you," and turns to you. "Oh, excuse me."
Here, let me get the door for you.
"Oh, thank you." You can see he doesn't walk with a cane, but you kind of think maybe he should walk with a cane, given his posture.
Okay.
But he does sort of shuffle out the door and says, "Oh, thank you. I wasn't expecting such kindness twice in one day."
Dermot O'Ferry at your
Oh,
service.
Baron, pleasure to make your
Baron, I've heard of you.
acquaintance.
I'm a friend of Cito's.
Little Cito. It's a ball of energy and naivete, that
You should see him with a cup of coffee in him.
one. That is a sight that even my eyes would love to see. I
Only
just
from afar, I assure you. Getting too close to that one with coffee in him is like getting too close to the sun.
Wait, Dermot O'Ferry. Were you the famous bard from last night?
Um, uh, famous, I think not, but yes, the same.
Well, I can tell you from those that I've seen stepping into the temple that everyone who partook of the performance last night has a smile on their face this morning.
Wow.
So, whether you consider yourself famous or no, I can tell you that your music has impacted this town, I think, more so than they were expecting.
I'm glad to hear it. That's why I play. And I'm sure their enjoyment was due in no small part to Scanlan. He
What I
is,
hear is quite the competition.
yes, and Scanlan is a true master.
I unfortunately have heard some of Mr. Shorthalt's more colorful tunes since he's visited the temple, but I know that he has a good heart.
Well, I'm sure they're all colorful tunes, are they not?
This is true. Well, I should get moving. I do have some stops I have to make for the day, but I do appreciate you stopping by to check on them.
It's what I do best.
Well, I do hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and if you're ever in the neighborhood, feel free to stop in. I would love the company.
I'll be sure to. Thank you.
And he does another bow as best as he can in his old age, and then shuffles off in the direction of the town square.
And I go the other way, back towards the mansion.
All right. And again, for the sake of time, we'll say that Dermot, you make your way back to the mansion just as this conversation was happening.
I pass Jericho in the doorway. Oh, leaving so soon.
Yeah, I've got to meet up with some newbies who need some guidance. So I'm gonna take care of that. You actually, from what I hear, scheduled for a spa day. So enjoy
Spa
yourself.
day.
Yeah.
And you're gonna ditch us?
I got some kitties to take care of, and besides, this is your guys' thing. I don't want to encroach. Also, I feel like Cat is gonna kill me at some point. So there's also that. But
well, if you don't take heed the threats that Cad has no doubt made towards you, Cad will surely be the least of your problems. But in the meantime, and I reach out a hand to shake.
Jericho hesitates for a moment, studying you, and then reaches out his hand and grasps yours. I will take heed.
And I look forward to seeing you again.
Same here. And as you have that moment, Jericho steps away and makes his way down the street. Now everybody's in the same place. Yay!
Guys, I should probably catch up with my mom on that meeting. So, like, peace out.
Go near rocks. Go near rocks.
I enter the main room where everybody's at, and just as I enter, what's this I hear about a spa day?
It
We all
was
getting our
Going to the
hooves
spa.
painted?
Pad's idea, actually.
Well, I thought that we could all use some rest and some time to clear our minds, and I simply suggested that we go to the spa, and Thurston's mother thought that was a grand idea and is arranging it for us.
Excellent.
So we're supposed to go around noon. What time is it now, Cujo?
About 10.
So, suppose we have about 2 hours.
Dermot, apparently they have cucumbers there that you put on your eyes and then you eat them.
I love cucumbers.
That's not entirely how
too.
it works, but I suppose it is your spa experience,
Wait.
and thus you can do what makes you
I
happy.
mean, if they put an avocado mask on you, you also have dip.
It's a
Ooh.
match
Wait, you're
made in
not
hell.
Such an
Wait,
enabler.
what are the cucumbers for if you're not eating them?
They help with puffiness around the eye.
Oh,
Oh.
so
I
you
just
just
thought it
let
was
them
like
sit
using
on
your
your
face
face.
as a weird plate. Yeah. Is your face just. I thought it was like a plate. You don't use your face as a plate?
I can't say I've ever tried that one before.
Oh.
I lean over to
Well,
Cito.
that makes one of
Humans
us.
are so weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Yikes.
Is there anything you all wish to do in the 2 hours prior to your spa day?
No.
Okay. You all make your
Coffee.
way.
Coffee.
You at one point Jules pours like a quarter of a cup and goes, "Oh, unfortunately, I need to go make some more. Here you go, sir." And then like turns and shuffles away before you can say anything else.
But oh.
Secretly, he's been giving him decaf, but he just has the placebo high, so it's the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I was gonna take it one further and tell Jules to offer Cito espresso shots that are just regular decaf coffee.
Hmm. As you broach that idea, you do hear him murmur, "Smart idea. I'll have to keep that in mind for next time." But you all depart towards the Romaran Radiant and can see it's sort of tucked away in the merchants district. Um, Not very much like on a main road by any means. You see that it's very ornately decorated. You step in, and there is a dwarven woman whose hair is actually kept short and cropped and sort of slicked back. She is very well dressed, as she just looks up and says, "Oh, yes. How may I? Oh, Mr. Nollard, I've been informed of your appointment. How many do we have with us today?"
He's like looking around trying to see who followed him. Myself and 5 others today.
Wonderful. We do have several different packages available, and you see that she presents like 3 laminated like pieces of paper with a rundown on everything.
Just whatever each individual person desires most is fine. A custom package.
Perfect. Well, Mr. Nollard, I have been informed by Lady Nollard that you are to get the deluxe package. So yours is already set and ready to go. Um, and the rest of you?
Well, I could use a massage and some cleansing, exfoliation, you know, general.
Sure. You are muted, my darling. Arthea, you are muted.
Ina.
I could not hear you.
Where's Dorothy just in the background, like reading the sign, like mouthing it to
Just-
herself? I could get this.
Feels underdressed for this place. Just like, oh, this is way fancier than I
Which is
thought.
funny because you're about to start walking around in a robe.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't think I need a massage. Definitely the face thing. Are there the indoor hot springs?
Oh, yes, we do have a large one.
That sounds wonderful.
Knowing nothing about any of this, Dermot points at Faraday and says, "The two of us will have one of everything." Not even
Understood.
knowing what that means.
And for you,
I'm not quite sure what this place is. I think I want something with food on my face. I
Perhaps.
think
Please.
no, it's okay. I'm so enamored by everything around me at the moment, and I don't know what to do with anything.
Perhaps Mr. Sito here would be best suited to start with a basic package to understand the layout and process for his first time.
understood.
Does that come with cucumbers?
It does come with cucumbers.
Yes. Yes.
One by one, you
Thank
all
you.
are led into a back room. Not quite a locker room. There's a stall for each of you to get into your robe. But you are all treated to a wonderful massage, um, and are pampered to your content. Afterwards, after you get your exfoliation, after you get your massage, after you get your cucumbers, um, each masseuse does state that the hot spring is available for use in case you wish to relax in there.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
They do also provide some swimwear if you
Okay.
should request some.
That's fine. I raised my hand. It's like, are we going like traditional Japanese hot spring in this kind of thing? Like,
Is there any other way?
Yeah.
Cat says, you know, I feel more naked without my swords than the fact that I'm actually naked right now. Is that weird?
I don't
It's
have
something.
a lot to offer you in that regard, but I do have some swim garments for you if you'd like.
Comfort sword. Like a comfort
Is-
blanket.
So, where is Gladius? Did you send him for a polishing?
I worry about something happening to him, so I left him with Jules.
Mm,
I might actually be polishing him, but
he probably is polishing him. He's getting his own spa day.
Cut to the Nala Estate as Jules and Gladius are bonding over their existence as essentially constructs and getting real deeply philosophical to the point where they're both like, oh god, we're just things. And Gladius speaks up, oh no, I don't believe that's the case. I believe that we are beings with purpose and free will.
Oh no.
And Jules says, I think I'm going to open a bottle of brandy for myself. And Gladius says, oh, please, could you just wet the guard of my sword, please? Snap
for
back
not
to you
saying
guys.
just tip.
Just the tip.
Uh,
Jesus.
I don't think Faraday would take the swim garments, to be completely honest.
yeah, I don't think Cat
No.
would either. She just
Ladies
Yeah.
are
That's fair.
are there is the hot spring split? Like, is there a ladies' side and a gentleman's
Gentleman's
side,
side?
or is it one hot spring?
One hot spring.
Thurston, like, as soon as he sees the three of them walk out naked, he turns beet red and like turns around to face the other direction.
You have sisters.
I don't.
So I certainly didn't stare at them naked. They're my
It's
sisters.
fair.
I mean, is there something wrong with it?
No, it's just not polite to stare at someone naked, particularly not someone that you are, perhaps in a relationship with. And while we are friends, we are not that sort of friends. But please,
We are not
enjoy.
that kind
Hashtag.
of
Not that
friends.
kind of friends. Hashtag.
Dermot, in his birthday suit, just walks up from behind Thurston and past him and just says, well, then don't stare.
Yeah. Speaking of relationships, Faraday, are you and Jericho like officially official now?
She like gets in the water. She gets in the water. And just as beet red as Thurston is, like to the tips of her ears, just red.
Seems like it's very quick to be official.
I don't.
And they like each other. They spent the night together doing none of our business.
But they've
Yeah,
only
none of
known
your
each other
business.
for a few months.
So when you like each other, you like each other.
Just seems like.
Not
a
all of
lot
us move on elf time, Arthea.
But Faraday does.
But Jericho doesn't.
He might. I don't know. I don't know
Well-
what he. I don't know his life. No, for real. I actually don't know his life. Like, what does he do?
Faraday.
You know, I was about to.
Whoa.
Splashes Cad.
Gotti.
And then just like sinks down, so she's like this in the water.
Just the ears.
Yeah,
The
you
ears
just
are
see the
above.
ears.
Sorry, you left it wide open. I had to. Just kind of like
Fine.
wets her
glad-
hair and like floats.
He seems to make you happy. And that's what's
He
important.
does.
I like
Add
Jericho.
If she's having fun, he'll stick around. If she's not having fun, he's gonna get his ass kicked. Of that, I am sure.
You go in doubles with me then,
And
Dermot, if that happens.
We putting money on this?
No.
Can we not bet?
I'm sure if Jericho hurts Faraday, I'm not going to be the only one that wants to kick his ass. Dermot's
Oh,
your
no.
best friend.
I'm sure that if Jericho hurts
saying
Faraday,
that neither
Faraday will
you-
kick his ass.
you nor I will even get the opportunity.
True.
Not sure there'd be much left.
I just look at Faraday. You
And
better save some
that's-
for me.
And I mean this in the best way possible, Faraday. That is the extent of my interest.
That is perfectly fine, and I would appreciate it if we didn't speculate on the ultimate betrayal that I'm facing. Thank you. He did,
Just waiting for
however.
Cito to do a damn cannonball in the hot spring.
That's fine. I see that they're all like, I see they're all just naked. I'm like, oh well, when in Western, and I do a cannonball in there.
This is not how we do
Rotala.
things in Western. This is not. This is not how we do things in Western.
The only
Apparently
one
it
from
is.
Western is like
Mordecai?
fully dressed, like 1920s birth, like bathing suit
I was just thinking the
It's
same
like the
thing. with
wool
Full
onesie.
Body.
Yeah.
with the t-shirt and everything.
Basically, if it could have a tie, then
Yeah.
Thurston I feel like would wear one.
It actually has a little
It's got
cravat,
like a
like right up here.
Yeah.
And if it
A swimming
can't
ascot?
have, if it can't have a tie, Thurston wears an ascot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna go to Byroad and he's gonna get a bolo tie for the to be like matching the
No.
area.
Oh my
No. That explains a lot about Lord Alamo.
god.
We don't need to discuss him. He's a character.
Literally.
So what? You were saying something, Faraday, before, we all.
Jumped in on.
Yes.
He said he might be able to get us to the Feywild. Maybe. Without having to
Is
go
that
through
where we're going
Singor.
next?
We haven't really talked about it. Not to put a damper on
No.
this wonderful moment, but
This.
we haven't
Like
really
little
talked about what we're
backstory.
doing next. And I need to go. Not for the ultimate reason, but I need to go get the person I saw. She can't stay there longer.
Well, you know I'm right behind you. As long as you understand that if we go, I find it highly unlikely we'll be able to avoid our other problem.
I know.
Well, I'm
That's not
happy
a problem.
to accompany you on your rescue mission. But I do feel that we have some unfinished business here. There's things going on here that certainly don't seem like we could or should ignore them.
There's a lot of things I think we probably shouldn't ignore, and we're gonna have to. At
Well,
least some of them for some time.
we just have to determine what is more time sensitive. I think
Thurston, you said things maybe here need time to percolate a bit.
Which, I apologize, which of the situations needs to percolate? I occasionally lose track of them all.
The miners' families and the entire everything
Well,
surrounding.
I mean, that's a situation that can be approached from many angles. We don't know what this quote resistance is actually up to know if they're a reliable source in this situation. And at a certain point, unless you can stop the means of production, this is going to happen. We'd have to stop the weapons from getting to the country in order to really prevent this. But that sounds like that would require a trip, most likely to Craghammer. And I don't think that's quite the highest order of magnitude in the list of things that we have on our plate.
We do have people in the city that we can trust. I trust your mother is doing what she can, whatever that might be. Honestly, I don't really know, but she's quite formidable. I feel like that situation is. I don't know how much we could do. We can certainly find out more before we leave. I mean, if Jericho knows people, at least getting a sense of perhaps what they're doing and what their intentions are, like you said, Faraday, then we might be able to offer some help before we depart. But from what you're saying, your friend, that's not something that can wait.
Hey, it's strange to think I felt like we had more power with the underplane situation than with the Craghammer situation.
Looking
don't-
back now, it does seem a little bit more straightforward.
Dealing with nobles is very rarely straightforward. Sorry.
Let's give him a splash. It's fine.
I just... Knowing she's alive, I can't wait much longer. I'm sorry.
And if somehow
I-
certain individuals find out that we know she's alive, that in its own right could cause problems with the timetable. I mean,
that seems like the one problem we can solve right now. The
Yeah.
other one, I hate to say it, but the situation in Westrun is complicated, and like you said, there's a lot of players, and it's something that will probably be here when we get back, if we were to go. This hopefully will not be a 6-month trip to the Feywild, unless something goes severely wrong.
No,
Right.
time does move differently, but
Okay.
oh,
That we will
this is gonna be such a...
We will factor that in. But the Western situation is flexible. It's ongoing, and it's not the only political problem, but it seems to be one of many happening at the moment. The whole end of the world thing is still going to be happening. And quite honestly, I feel that when it comes time to tackle that, if we go to do that, that's what we're going to do. There will not be a chance to go to the Feywild. If we don't do this now, there might not be another opportunity. Plus side, if we go in there and piss off some people and it gets really bad, we can just jump to another world.
I mean,
we go in there, we're expecting to piss off a couple people.
Oh, good. Okay, so then.
Well, as long as
then
it's
that is
actually on the
what we
to-do
seem to
list
do
this
best.
time.
Yes.
We'll be
Oh,
doing it on
yes.
purpose, which is going to make it the whole lot easier.
That
if
is...
we go in, I feel like then we just go in and maybe we won't. we'll try really hard and we'll just fail miserably at it. Suddenly we'll make us a lot of friends.
I don't think you want to make those friends.
No, those aren't friends you want to make.
None of them?
I suppose
I
my
mean,
question
if-
would be,
Not the people we plan to talk to.
Well,
yes, all joking
Although-
aside, I suppose my question would be, what do you think is going to happen with your Archfey problem if we go back there?
Yeah.
how we just call it your little archfey problem.
Yeah.
Well,
You know, no
Although,
big deal.
I do suppose if we do want to make friends, we could, while we're there, we could visit my brother Schmermit.
Brother?
Yeah, he's a
Trouble
Schmader.
Is it like a
You
herd?
created
you
it.
have a,
You can't
Do you
put your
have
head
a-
down.
like
You
a
created
name?
it.
I
you have a
was not
sister as
expecting
well
that.
named Schmarietta.
Oh my god.
It's like a naming
Oh.
custom.
How many siblings do you have?
When
Answer very
When I
carefully.
left- when I left home, I had
Rolls a d20.
and he spends a moment counting.
Oh.
There's so many that it's like, and she wrote it by the dozen when there's so many kids that some are extras in the movie. Like, that's how many siblings.
Yeah. A few.
Just look to
Do y-
Faraday.
Do you have more than
Translation.
me?
Yes. Way more.
I never met
Oh.
them.
I do. Dermot gives you a real number, and I do have it written down somewhere.
Oh.
It's just for some reason it is in a Google Doc somewhere, and not actually on my
I
character sheet where it should
Feel
be.
like it's like 16. Is that not the right
God.
answer?
I
I thought it was like double digits.
Cujo's being facetious because Cujo knows, because I'm pretty sure I've told him.
I think you did at one point. I just can't remember the actual number.
Yeah.
You blocked it out.
Yeah.
I think that's lower than I was expecting. I
That
was ex-
sounds like a really interesting Sunday night dinner.
Yeah, I thought my house was crowded with my sister, brother, and I.
Well, we obviously didn't live in a house like you would.
Where did you
Sure.
live?
Stater.
Yeah.
Grew up in the Feywild. We just kind of lived in the forest.
I heard that as I'm floating around.
Yeah. So, Feywild it is.
You all don't have to go.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, Faraday, why are you even bothering?
I don't know. It never works on anybody anyway.
I think
never
when we
been
all
there.
signed up to be one big happy group, we had also signed up to have all of our business be everyone else's business.
Exactly.
We did.
I don't remember seeing that in the contract, but
Ah, yes. I think that was actually in the illusory script. You have to check for those things.
I always check for those things.
Wow. Maybe you just accepted it at that time.
Young and naive 6 months ago.
That's true, actually. It has been a heck of a 6 months. But I've never been to the Feywild. It's someplace to see.
It's not bad when you don't have people that want to kill you.
Most places aren't bad when you don't have people who want to kill you.
True.
So, do we have to sneak in through Singorn?
Jericho said he's got potential connections to get us a gate.
He knows a guy.
Yeah.
He's got a guy.
He's got a guy.
Don't worry, I know a guy.
That's kind of what he did.
You want a cheesecake? I know a guy. Things that Tina's friends have literally said to me.
We do love them.
I think trying to go through Singorn is... Not only would we have to get through Singorn, which, according to Sito and many other people, they're amassing an army. We would also have to trigger the city to go to the Feywild in the first place. They don't have just a gate. The whole place just goes.
Well, the last time we went, they basically immediately went in, so perhaps just knocking on the front gate would do it.
I think, well, last time we went into that maze thing, so.
Yeah. Or they dispatch their army. Neither of which is a good thing.
Well, I mean, the army is not a good thing overall. That's a problem. But possibly not our problem. Hopefully not our problem.
Singorn is Plan Z. We have enough.
If their army's not there, it'd be a little easier to get in. If necessary.
I somehow don't think that Lady DeRollo did say that it wasn't really our fault with Singorn the first time. They were looking for an excuse, and I do believe that. However,
Baiting them,
we
probably
caused
not
them
the
to
best
dispatch
idea.
their army. I think she.
I
I don't think she could come up with an excuse for that.
Would
don't think we
prefer not to
caught-
be on Lady Devrolo's bad side.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're already on enough lists.
Also, that's just a situation that I feel like is quite delicate. Elves don't send out armies for just any reason.
That's why I would like to avoid the city as much as possible.
But if there's another
so
gate,
that leaves the problem of finding another gate.
Let's give him a day or so. A couple days to see if he can get his contact. If not, we could check with Gilmore. Maybe he's got something.
If we're leaving, I do need to wrap up some things at the temple before we go, I suppose. It's been almost a month since I've been going, but I don't really know how this ends.
I can't ask you all to just drop what you're doing and leave tonight. That's impossible. Sito, I can't even ask you to go. That's not fair either. I mean, you're more than welcome, but... And the Feywild is pretty fantastic.
Well, as part of my life journey, I will absolutely come and help out. Because I want to experience as many things as I can.
very good mindset.
The Feywild is certainly an experience.
And you're more than welcome to stick with us for as long as you'd like.
Well, it's worked out for me so far.
Thurston whispers to whoever's next to him right now, was I that naive when we first met?
Well,
I'm next to you. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh, no, I just got here.
Not sure. Just kidding.
I don't think naive would be the right word. Privileged, perhaps, is better. But you've adapted.
In a good way.
You don't complain nearly as much about having to sleep on the ground now that you're used to having sleeping on the ground.
And we don't even have to do that
You
anymore.
really have to do
We
that
do
anymore.
have the doorknob now.
Yeah.
Have we actually tested that?
We opened it initially.
Yeah, I thought we had.
It's in the
We
bag of
opened
holding.
it. We did a quick look at everything, and
To be honest with you, I have a feeling that Kat has probably been like, "Oh, I'm gonna see what's going on in here," and like went and explored it for like an evening.
Arthea's just woken up from trancing and looked around, and Cad's gone, and there's just a doorknob stuck to the wall.
Yeah.
Probably.
There it is.
She's like, again? Yeah, I mean, it will be a lot more comfortable this time. Do you think there's one of these in there? Is there? Is there, Cad?
I mean, it's Gilmore. I
It
haven't
probably has-
explored everything yet, but there was
Probably
a
has purple
hot
bubble.
spring below. There's this one pit where you sit in there and it's just warm mud. It was nice.
Is this
Oh,
where you
I
go
love
at
just-
night?
I love just sitting in a bath of warm mud.
Sometimes, yes.
It's the best.
My skin looked great afterwards.
Cold mud is sometimes really invigorating too.
It
Out
was
of
a whole
context,
thing.
spa treatment sounds so fucked.
I know.
Yeah.
It sounds
There was
gross.
a pool of mud, and then there was one with cold water, then warm water, then hot water. It was just a whole experience.
Hmm.
I enjoyed it.
So we've upgraded, is what you're saying.
I mean, I'm not exactly surprised Gilmore put it in there. He did say it reflected his own. And there were a lot of
Try all-
products that smelled quite
Try out.
perfumey.
Are there a lot of knobs and nozzles? One of those has bubbles.
Good word usage there.
That raised eyebrow was like, bitch, I dare you.
Hmm.
Well, there you go, Faraday.
Okay. Then Feywild it is when we are ready.
Is there anything we should do before we? Do we need to pick up anything? Is there something we need to bring with us to the Feywild that we can't get there?
It's
Well,
one of those places
I
where
don't
we're not
know.
supposed
I
to
don't know
eat the
about the
food.
I don't know about the Feywild, but before we leave here, somebody owes me a cucumber.
I think Cito ate them all.
Sorry, I left that in my other towel over there. I made a small pocket out of that towel and put a
Oh.
bunch of stuff. I'll go get everybody some cucumbers. And they actually introduced me to this new drink called tea.
Oh no.
It's really
He's
it's
good.
it's good. It doesn't make me insane, which is nice to an extent.
Leaf
I'll be
juice.
back.
No.
This is bare ass just climb out of the pool.
Faraday is convinced that Cito is either a fae or just like sprouted from the ground. Like was not birthed, just like appeared like out of the ground. It's just a creation of magic.
That's
Isn't
how
that
gnomes
how
are born.
Isn't that?
Isn't
yeah,
that how
that's
all Fae are born?
Fae are
Yeah.
born. Well,
So
some.
both.
I thought that was
You
how Dermot was
locate
born.
you locate your towel and your cucumber slices.
Oh no, I went and got fresh ones.
The cucumber
You
water is
approach
full.
the front desk
Oh.
wearing not a goddamn
bare
thing.
Bare ass. Just going
Mhm.
right
And
there.
the woman behind the
Hi.
counter says, "Hello, oh, hello. Did you misplace your towel, sir?"
Oh yeah, I saw everybody else was not wearing it, so I didn't want to be awkward. So can I
Understood.
get can I please have some cucumbers? And do you actually have any like berries or any fruits at all?
I will have some delivered to the hot spring. I would just ask that you find your towel.
Oh, don't worry, I put it on. I put it on. I'm just kidding. I totally did.
Ah,
Oh, can we also have some tea as well?
of course. I will get to it right away, sir.
Thanks.
Not a problem.
I walk away.
Within a few moments, you see another one of the other masseuse come up with essentially a charcuterie of all sorts of treats for you.
Berries. Arthea just scrambles over to the side. Get berries. They have the
You
blue
all
ones.
enjoy your spa.
Uh-huh.
At one point, one of the masseuse does step out and just say, the packages do allow for a half an hour soak. We must advise that any further would require an upcharge. They're deliberately not looking at
Just
you
the
directly.
crew
Yeah.
of naked people.
So, may
We're
I
over
ask,
here.
May I ask what your intent is? Is it to remain or?
We should probably get going back.
Yeah. Climb out of the pool.
Yeah, I suppose we should.
You know what?
Understood. I will make sure towels are left for you. Or they already are left for you, I should say. Um, yes, and she just turns and like power walks out of the room.
We could have stayed. It's coming out of my mother's account, not mine.
It's true, but well,
I want to get all pruny.
yeah.
Got a point.
You all find that your respective stalls, where your clothes and everything are, you find a stack of towels waiting for you, as well as your clothes have all been professionally cleaned and rejuvenated a little bit. You all dress yourselves, hopefully, and
Not
Uh,
a chance.
Yeah.
I want to know if Dermot has a bandana and if he's looking particularly floofy after that.
Um, I don't have a bandana. I am fur from the waist down. Which looks nice. My hair and beard look fantastic. Cujo was part of the package getting my hooves done.
yes, yes, it was.
Excellent.
Nice.
They had to call somebody in. They had to call a specialist in to get it done. But your hooves are very beautiful right now.
They're called farriers.
They literally just
The
called
more
the
you know.
farrier he's been going to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same guy.
It's the same old dude who's like, hey, day and night, he wants his hooves cleaned.
Hey,
He probably
If it-
soaked them in lavender scented water first and had
Mhm.
some nice, like, deep puffing cucumbers. It was great.
Cujo, if it's good enough for Alice, Brian, Carl, Dave, Eric, Frank, Gary, Janet, Mike, Nancy, and Steve, it's good
Jesus.
enough for me.
For fuck's sake.
Oh, I can't wait to kill every single one of those horses.
Hey, that's animal abuse. That's too far,
They're
sir.
not real.
They're going to
you-
live at the farm.
Yeah, quite literally.
Yeah. And it's not going to be a glue factory.
Well,
it's going to be
is
a
going
real
to-
farm.
From being a
Yeah.
bar to being a full-on fucking animal farm.
I
Animal
cast
sanctuary.
Fireball. I cast Fireball centered on the horses and teleport them to a farm upstate.
Awful.
You all are led to the front area where, again, the Masusta state. All of the charges are paid for by Lady Nollard. Thank you so much for enjoying your time here, and we look forward to helping you in the future should you require it.
Thank you very much for your time and your staff's time.
Of course. And you see that same masseuse glances at Cito and goes, "Thank you so much for your patronage."
Thank you.
It was so good. The tea was amazing.
I actually freaked out a little bit. Both Cito and Dermot
I
at the
hear
same
both in my
time,
head.
like the
Oh,
fucking
God.
Shining twins,
Mhm.
said thank you at the same time.
Thank you.
Oh.
I just want it to be known that my hooves are not painted, but my satyr shoes are a bright azure blue.
Awesome.
Those are real nice. Wow.
Polished to a high shine.
I could see my face in it. I shouldn't look at your shoes.
Imagine if you'd have had those last night, Dermot, with all the pyrotechnics going off.
Oh.
That would have been nice.
Thurston,
Mhm.
as you are exiting, you don't know if this is exhaustion. You don't know if this is your mind playing tricks on you. But you hear a familiar echoing voice through your mind. It seems that the young noble hasn't been faring quite well with his noble obstacles. You recognize the voice as Mako.
There's somewhat kind of pause and look around.
Make a perception check with disadvantage because of your exhaustion.
I know everything's
Just saying.
disadvantaged. Everything
Case the
sucks
audience
right
was
now.
like, "Why is it disadvantage?" I just, we're doing a show.
Oh, also everyone has
Oh.
to walk slowly
Yeah.
because he's also
Yeah.
walking at half speed. You're
I was
welcome,
just gonna
guys.
say, I was like, wait, there's
Fucking-
something else that happens today.
Yeah, that's at level 2 right there.
We didn't
Oh,
use the
boy.
carriage.
No, we
His
fucking
mother
walked.
took the carriage.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Nor did we take some
Oh.
of the like 10 horses.
Mm-hmm. It's an 8.
8 is not terrible. As you glance around, you do not find the familiar dark elf.
Do we notice Thurston like stopping, or do we
I'm
just
gonna
keep
go ahead
walking
and
and
say-
talking?
With 2 levels of exhaustion, his
Him being
movements
out of
and
it
his
seems-
expressions are pretty damn easy to read right now.
You okay?
Yeah, I thought I saw someone that looked like Mako, and he might be back in town, but nah, they passed away in the crowd, so I must have been wrong.
He's pretty distinctive.
Ooh, lying to your party. How low is the young noble going to stoop? You just hear playing through your mind.
Anyway, we should probably just get back. I don't know why I thought I saw him.
Yes.
Oh, do you think I miss him?
Oh,
It's kind of interesting to have around sometimes.
helpful.
Yeah.
It's a word.
Sort
yeah,
of.
helpful.
He's
a
not
character.
helpful.
No, he was very helpful.
He was very helpful.
He was very helpful in Vasselheim.
Mm. A little prickly.
Yes, definitely prickly.
All you need is say the word, and the young noble will have an ally in this fight.
Can I respond back mentally? If you're actually here, get out of my head and just come to the estate.
Are you sure you want your compatriots to know of our possible business dealings?
Any negotiations we had were ceased several weeks ago.
Well, things tend to develop when negotiations are left on the table, and I'm merely reminding that I'm here to assist, should you need.
Thurston doesn't respond again.
During this time, since Thurston's just stopped basically in the street,
No, he started walking again.
Staring.
He's
Staring
at
off the-
half speed.
Well, yeah, he's slow, but he was walking.
You just, it's like, oh, it's nothing.
I'd like to look around to see if there's someone who does look like Mako, because maybe he's not crazy and hallucinating.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
New dice. Good new dice. 24. You get to stay out.
With a 24, you kind of key in to this shift in Thurston and glance around. And you can't spot Mako, but you do spot somebody hunched over, walking with a staff. What's seems like a very elderly civilian that is walking along the street, not too far from you. Their hood is pulled up, obscuring their identity.
This individual. I'm just checking to see if I saw this last time. Is this? We saw someone with a staff. No, I didn't. Not me. Okay. Scratch that. Didn't see crap last night.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. Nope. She's not going to say anything then.
Arcee is gonna cast sleep on him as soon as they give it. She's like, "Yep, he's gone into hallucinating.
Ding.
Yep, just we've gone too far."
I mean, she figured, well, I mean, he could be here. He does tend to show up, and he literally vanished off the skyship. Like, he just was gone. So he could be there. He could be. She doesn't know how he travels. He does all that weird shit ever since he got his new armor. But yeah, no, I forgot. She was too drunk last night to see anything.
Oh yeah, we're holding you up.
Yeah, that's true. It was rough. That's fine.
You all arrive back at the estate after a surprisingly labored walk for one of you. But you can see that Jules just finishes laughing with Gladius as they share a story of something. And Jules looks up and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. This blade is quite humorous when it wants to be." And Cito, you see that he is talking to a sword. That emanating from it, you hear a "Ha ha ha! I am one of the best jesters of my kind."
He's a quite a good fighting companion as well, and I'll go pick up Gladius and kind of give him a twirl. And
Gladius, to your knowledge, aren't you the best at everything of your kind?
I was waiting for one of you to say that, and of course it's true.
He did knit me a very nice picture.
Is that sword talking?
Yes.
Is it a
Yes.
sword? It is a sword, right?
Oh,
It's a sword.
yeah.
Yeah.
it is a sword.
Yeah.
You see that the crossguard looks like almost like angel wings kind of coming out, and there is like a portraiture of a face of some humanoid race, and this portraiture, two teeny little pieces of metal slide out from the crossguard, and it sort of gesticulates as though they are hands, and it says, "Ah, yes, hello, my name is Gladius. I am currently bared by Lady Cadriel Susak. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Mr.
Cito, I've never had a conversation with a sword. This is a great day. I had cucumbers earlier. I had tea earlier. I had pocket bread earlier. This is so great.
Well, I must say, out of all of the possible experiences, I'm happy to be included amongst those as some of your first things ever."
Oh, amazing. Can I shake like its little hand?
Yeah,
thing,
it
like-
reaches out and you just grasp it with like your thumb and
Like-
forefinger and just shake it up and down.
I have that face too.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance, young Cito.
Yep.
I see you enjoyed
Pleasure
your
meeting
day with
yours.
Jules.
Ah, yes, we were merely bonding over our existences, and it got a little macabre, but we pressed on through and we found our lust for life once again.
Well, Gladius, you are a hero of a sword, champion of Bahamut. Just always keep that in mind.
This is true.
And yes, this is our new friend Cito. He's going to be traveling with us for a while, so I'm sure you'll get used to him as you have everybody else.
Wonderful. Happy to share stories with the young Cito should he ever ask.
Yes, I will definitely ask for sure. Yeah.
Oh God.
So, what do you all do with the rest of your day?
I imagine we were at the spa for a few hours, right? So is it like late afternoon by the time we get home, or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
early evening? Like,
Say late afternoon.
I think Kat probably is gonna go to the Temple of the Raven Queen for a little while, and then on her way back, swing by the door, that secret door that they found
Okay.
the night before, and she's gonna kind of like not hide, but make herself look as inconspicuous as possible and watch for a while to see who she observes coming and going.
Okay. Um, First off, what did you want to handle at the temple? Is it just sort of visiting for lessons and that sort of thing?
Yeah, just her usual visits for lessons, and then she probably um, lets them know that she is going to have to leave in a few days' time. She's not sure when, but she wants to make sure that she keeps up with what she's learning from them while she's gone still. And, she asks them for the homework packet or whatever it is.
Well, you are presented with a small tome. That's basically all the tenets of the Matron of Ravens, and oh my god, I keep forgetting her name. Give me a second. I'm terrible.
Rayla, I think.
Rayla,
Yeah.
you better study really good. There's going to be a test on that when we get back. I'll make you
Rayla.
flashcards.
Rayla states, just continue the very same lessons as we have been doing in this temple. Her embrace may not be felt as strongly out in the open world, but she will still be able to hear you, and that is what counts. And be safe.
Thank you. It's been quite a month. Unfortunately,
say-
it seems like it's going to be quite a month again, but
Well, I must say, it's been nice having you around the temple. You will be missed.
thank you.
You exit the temple. Do you have proficiency in religion? Just curious.
Yes.
You do. Awesome.
Mhm.
Sweet. You make your way towards the hidden door. Go ahead and make me a stealth check.
Going to roll with advantage, but the first one was a natural 20, so 31.
Shit. All right. You recall exactly where the hiding spots were in that alleyway, and you position yourself just perfectly, pulling a hood up over your head and crouching down low to avoid any sight lines. And within a few moments, you actually do see two figures approaching from the opposite end of the alleyway towards that door. Two familiar looking people. You spot the purple tiefling, as well as the half elf, the sort of shaggy, blonde-haired half elf, who, as they approach the door, he kind of tears down his hood and looks exasperated. And they share a small, brief conversation. The half elf says, "If you would let me, I could have grabbed it." And the tiefling says, "The guards were right around the corner. The moment that you would have grabbed it, they would have seen you, and we would have been foiled. Come inside." And she activates the door. The hidden door slides open, and the two of them slip in. Just as you are about to act, following behind them, sort of checking behind, is an older man with a terrible posture and long gray hair, who looks to be wearing brown robes, but peeking underneath, you can see you see the symbol of the Everlight. As he says, "Oh, these damn children." And he steps inside. The door slides closed.
Can I look around the square and just the area in general, like actively looking for Jericho?
Go ahead and make me a perception check.
Natural
Is it-
20 again.
Are you serious?
I swear to God.
Fucking
Is
hell.
this the same fucking
28.
dice?
It's the same dice, yes.
Shit.
So it's dice that Tina
Um,
gave me for Christmas, I swear to God.
I swear to God, I just ordered them from the store. They're not weighted.
As you look around and sort of scan the town square, you can see him. He is approaching from the opposite end of town square. He looks like he's got a small box of some kind. Looks like felt of some kind. It looks like a nice gift box of some kind. He's sort of admiring it and sort of opening it and smirking. He tucks it away and starts sort of heading directly towards the
As soon as he
alleyway.
gets close to me, I'm gonna. Partially because I think it's funny and I want to give him a little bit of a hard time because he's dating my friend, but also because I genuinely want to talk to him about this whole issue. As he gets kind of close to me, I like pop out at him.
Okay. As you pop out, he jeez, and reaches back for one of his scimitars and
I just grin. I'm holding the hilt of Gladius, but I grin at him.
okay.
I'm not really here to beat you up about Faraday.
Thank you. It wouldn't end well for either of us, I don't think. Hi. How can
Hi.
I help you?
You seem to be heading towards that door in the alley.
Yes, I have some friends that I am trying to meet with.
I'd like an in.
You want to join in on this?
Yes,
Aren't you guys heading south?
indeed.
All right, here's the thing. They know that Thurston's family is involved somehow with this.
Not by their own choice.
They don't see it that clearly. Let me try and talk with them, see if I can't ease their minds on that a little bit. Once I have confirmation that I'm not blindsiding them by bringing in an ally to one of the nobles that they are researching, then I'll bring you guys in.
Know my fair share about groups, Jericho.
I do too. Trust me.
I also know that I'm the best person to get into this with you for now.
I know. But blindsiding them like this, it's not going to go well. And I think you know that. Let me do some sweet talking. And see
I
what
could
can
just sneak in behind you, you know, you would never know. None of you are that stealthy. I've been watching for several hours. It's quite obvious where you're going and not coming out from. Are you all new to this? I know you're not. So how did you get in with them?
They're young, they're angry, and they need help.
I understand more than a lot of people. There's something going on here that could very much hurt Thurston's family, who is forced to be involved in this. And I don't want to see that happen.
I understand.
And I don't want to see this town go up in smoke either.
Yeah, it's kind of nice, I'm not going to lie.
It's
Trust
the
me.
closest that I've felt to having a home since I left Wildmount. I have a home there. This feels like a home here, and Thurston's family.
I understand. I know. Trust me, the last thing that I want is for anything to go up in flames. It's why I'm stepping in. These kids are vengeful and angry and not smart right now. So let me try and do some sweet talking. Let me let them know the situation. To be honest, bringing you guys in is a pretty smart idea, especially if Thurston is wrapped up in this whole thing against his will.
His mother.
Do you know how?
I do. And it's not my secret to share, but it's not good.
Okay. I will let them know that the arrangement isn't by choice. I will say no more than that, and I will see what I can do to arrange a meeting. They can trust me. I'm sort of the outsider here. I'm not saying that they can't trust you, but I'm saying that right now, if I walk in there and they see you, it might not go well.
There's nothing that said that they have to see me.
Yeah, but I would know.
Are you not a good liar?
I'm a pretty good liar when I need to be.
Am I going to be disappointed in you, Jericho?
In what way? And you see, he actually gets a little standoffish.
Better not hurt her.
Trust me, the little promise from Dermot was enough. I don't need a reminder.
You don't really have to worry about me because I don't know what Dermot promised you, but Faraday would kick your ass long before I could get to you. You might
No.
like that, but
I understand caring for your sister. But I also understand not having faith.
faith is something I'm learning. Faith is also something that's gotten me in trouble in the past, so I take it with a grain of salt until it proves itself to me, let's just say.
Then let me make this clear. I wouldn't let anything happen to her. I would never hurt her. And I will spend as much time as my human self can making sure that she is kept safe and that she is loved. Regardless of how many times you and your party drags me through the coals.
Not that it's fun for you, but we wouldn't do that if we didn't like seeing Faraday so happy about it. It's our job as friends to give her a hard time. You should know that.
She was happy?
Of course she was happy.
Good.
But this is separate.
Yes, it is.
I just happen to know that you are the inn that I need.
I'm aware. And I will continue to be the inn that you need, but you gotta let me do my job and see if I can introduce you and arrange a meeting.
We're leaving in
Promise.
several days to go to the Feywild.
That's more than enough time. If anything, you know what? We'll arrange this meeting with the intent of letting them just do recon. No more attempted burglary of the Margraves estate.
They weren't very sly about that.
No, they weren't.
Train them, Jericho. Keep them from getting arrested until we get back. This is unfinished business, and I can help. The rest of them can help too, but Faraday's got something more pressing right now. Thurston is too damn stubborn to ask for help.
Well, that's when you corner him and get him to open up. Trust me, I know. I'm that guy.
I
I know it's blunt, and it might be uncomfortable for you. But speaking as somebody who rarely reaches out when I'm in trouble, sometimes I need the tough love.
well, Thurston is determined not to let me slip back into old habits. And I'm willing to respect that because it would reflect on his family as well. I don't just carry 5 swords for decoration.
I don't carry 2 for decoration either.
You're a little behind, but I'll forgive you that.
Who
I've given
needs
his mother
5
some.
swords.
They're 4 different things.
Sure. This one's for stabbing in this way. This one's got a really cool hilt. This one's for slashing in this style.
Do you really want to go over this? Gladius?
This young boy has nothing on me.
He radiates holy fire when I hit things. This dagger right here teleports me to wherever it lands.
Yeah.
This sword will poison you whenever I stab you with it.
We're really gonna
This one
compare
shoots
sword
lightning out.
skills here.
You brought it up.
Mm-hmm.
The point is,
Listen, I am late for my meeting.
well, perhaps you should tell them that you're late because you have found them another ally.
What do you think I'm gonna say when I walk in?
God only knows.
I
Would
will
you like me
talk
to leave a
to-
window unlatched for you tonight? I can tell you exactly where Faraday's bedroom is if you'd like.
No. I would be the polite gentleman and knock on the door.
You get a point for that.
Thank you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll send a message to the estate when I have an update on a meeting for you. Sound fair?
Of course.
He gives a very sarcastic bow.
She gives when he does that, she gives a very overly dramatic curtsy. Pretending like she's hiking up her skirts, even though she doesn't have a skirt on. She just like picks up the bottoms of her coat.
Goddamn rogues. And she turns and activates the door and slips in and watches it close.
She'll duck back into the shadows for a little while, and I rolled a 28 in stealth, so
Jesus Christ.
she'll duck back into the shadows and continue watching a little bit just to still observe who's coming and going.
Okay. You stay for about a half an hour, and there's been no movement. It's sort of made clear in that whatever meeting is taking place in this hidden room is lengthy. But real quick, I'm gonna cut back to everybody else. What are the rest of you guys doing? I know Arathea, you were talking about going to see Estella.
Yeah, and probably for the remainder of the day and into the night,
Okay.
since I think it's 10 hours of time I need.
Okay.
So
Go
you may
ahead
stay the
and
night, honestly.
go ahead and mark down that you now have the spell Modify Memory. Estella absolutely does offer up a bed for you to
Yeah.
stay in if you'd like.
I think she will take advantage of the bed, but she will also take advantage of the telescope for a while.
There you go. She does actually inform you as well that since you guys had returned, the disappearance of the stars has slowed drastically. It's still happening, but it is nowhere near the pace that it was.
That's promising. Or it's terrible. Probably nothing in between.
Faraday, Dermot, Cito, and Thurston. What you guys doing?
I am going to. What was the butler's name again?
Jules.
Jules. Okay. Excuse me, Jules.
Yes, Master Cito.
So, Um, do you guys do you have tea here or what?
Sort of going along with the vibe for some fun, he goes, "We do have several different kinds of tea."
Can you bring me your favorite? Can you teach me about tea? Because I don't really know much about it. The only thing we ever had closest to tea in the forest was some pine needles and water.
Initially, he started to kind of keep going with the bit, but then after you ask that, he says, the facade drops and he goes, "Absolutely, yes, right this way." And he leads you into the kitchen and opens this large cabinet, and you can see many different canisters filled with all different kinds of tea.
Oh,
Don't worry, it's a little intimidating, but we will go through the main types. And he will sit and teach you about tea for however long
cool.
as you like.
Perfect. Yeah,
Awesome.
right.
How long do you want to spend with him?
How long would it take to get through all of those teas?
Quite a lot of time and a lot of brewing some hot water. So basically, it would be for like an evening of just learning about tea.
Sure.
All right. Go ahead and mark down that you have proficiency with brewing tea. Should it ever come up?
Efficiency
Knowledge T?
set.
Is this 3.5?
Yeah.
Fuck it, right? I mean, why not?
You never know. We are going to a place that, like, hospitality is a thing. You never know when that'll
Yep.
come in handy.
Yeah.
True
I feel
story.
like it should be like under tools, proficiency with tea cozies or something like that.
No, it's a tea
cozies.
set.
Yeah. Is that...
I'm very surprised that that's not like a
He
thing.
said tool
thing, yeah.
proficiency or the spell tea ceremony.
Tea ceremony.
Amazing.
I
Tea
cast tea ceremony.
Is that a real thing? I'm looking
No.
around.
And I
Damn
don't
it.
think it's a real thing in this edition.
No.
But in third edition, tea ceremony is an actual spell.
That's amazing.
Or it might be a feat performed tea ceremony.
I think it was
it's-
a feat thing.
It's a real thing now.
Jewel,
All right.
Jules, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Maybe next time I
course.
could learn about coffee.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, it was almost a 19. 9.
9.
Oh.
In time, let me gather some different kinds of coffee, so that you do get a understanding of the spectrum that is coffee. It will
Thank
take me
you.
some time, but yes, next time you are available, sure.
And thank you very much. I do the trick with a flower and I give him one and say thank you very much and then I go on my merry way.
As
And
you
go,
leave, you do catch. He kind of lances the flower, puts it in one of the vases. That's like a centerpiece.
oh, nice.
All right. Thurston, Faraday, and Dermot.
I turn to the two of you and say, "Well, what are we doing for the evening?"
I actually have some homework I have to do.
Some homework.
We have some rules we have to follow in the next place we're going to. I want to make a map. Some homework. You're more than welcome to either join me or go do something far more fun. But I want to go in as prepared as possible.
That's not a bad idea. Well, many hands, right?
Less work. Thurston, you're more than
Thurston,
welcome to join us.
this sounds like it's going to be a lot of paperwork and really boring, right up your alley.
I have my own sets of boring papers that I can go through. But thank you, I think, for the offer.
Uh, does any of that include trying to get some sleep?
Well, I can't exactly read and sleep at the same time.
I feel
I
like
suppose that's
RFBA could teach you
true.
how to do that.
It's actually around this time that Sabelina does arrive back at the estate. And as she does, she looks. I mean, she looks like she just got back from a meeting, so I mean, pretty standard. But she does lock eyes with Thurston and says, "Oh, good. You all arrived back. How was the spa? Was it relaxing for everyone?
It was fantastic.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Of course, not a problem, Thurston. And how are you doing?
It was as lovely as always.
Good to hear. Thurston, may I speak with you for a quick moment in my study?
Of course.
If you'll excuse us. She leads you up to the study, and as you step inside, she does slowly close the door behind you. I want to apologize.
Whatever for.
I trained you well. You are very good at the political veil that we use to hide our true intent when we speak. This arrangement was not intended, but I do owe the Woodwards a great debt, and I am trying to figure out a way to get out of it.
The great debt of finding me as a child.
Yes. And
Well,
she looks like 100% of the guarded Sabelina that you know is gone. She is looking at you mournfully and with tears welling up in her eyes.
well, I appreciate the honesty at last.
I understand that it will take time for us to move forward. I just want you to know that I love you as my own son, and I'm sorry for not being truthful with you.
Well, I love you as well. You're the only mother I've ever known. And I value and love this family enough to ensure that if my continued existence puts it at risk, then I shouldn't be here. I've requested several documents from the founding of the Nollard House be sent to the house so I can try to find a way to change the inheritance rules. Avista deserves to inherit the house anyway. She is the oldest. So, It solves many problems this family has.
I I refuse.
I don't think I understand what you're refusing.
I'm refusing this arrangement that you are working towards. You are my son. And despite my many shortcomings as a mother, you are family, and we love you.
I love all of you as well, but
Then that is enough.
you're thinking emotionally and not logically. Logically, it makes sense. If I am no longer in the picture, Woodward has no further hold over the family. If there is no more Thurston Nollard, and as long as the house is able to be, and the estate is able to be inherited by another one of the Nollard children, well, not every adventurer comes home. Thurston Nollard doesn't have to continue to exist in that scenario, and Woodward's hold over the family also ceases to exist. Logically, it makes the most sense.
For speaking logically, she says this. She steps around to her desk. If we are to speak logically, and she turns and pulls a book, and you watch as a small shelf moves to the side, revealing a hidden chamber of some kind. She reaches in and pulls the documents that Cadriel had provided to her and puts the book back. Logically speaking, she places the documents down and starts flipping through them. If we compile enough evidence to disgrace the Woodward name and remove them from their position of power within the city and in the Margrave's inner circle, then our position as a family is secure. Your friend Cadriel presented these to me, and I have found substantial evidence to discredit some of his claim to power in this city. I would require more. If I can go to the Margrave and present this to him, or, better yet, if we organize a press conference of some kind, or find an underground means to get this information out to the people, enough so that they raise enough of the voice to dethrone them, then our family is secure.
I am sure that in our adventures we'll be happy to find more evidence if that is what you seek. But I still think that my option makes sense as well. Don't get me wrong, discrediting Woodward would simply make me happy. So that's on my agenda. But inheriting this house was never my destiny. Perhaps it should be my sister's.
Make a persuasion check. Ignore the disadvantage, because you're speaking very passionately and very logically.
22.
I have a condition. should Woodward be discredited. And if this is the freedom that you seek, then it will be yours, provided that you know you always have a family. And she's saying this as tears are rolling down her cheeks.
I will make sure that my actions do what is best for the family. Whatever my personal preference is, be damned.
You see, she steels herself. If there's anything you need from me, say the word, and it is yours.
Thank you.
She gathers the documents together again and puts them in the hidden safe, and then closes the shelf once again.
If you'll excuse me, I should probably get back to work or sleep,
Let me
something of that
send
nature.
for some of these documents. Please get some sleep.
Thank you. I'll do such.
You could see she moves a step towards you, but then hesitates, almost as if she wanted to like embrace you, but isn't sure if she's earned that. And then just sort of stands with her hands crossed over in front of her. The solemn and mournful look not leaving her face.
Thurston will give her a hug.
The moment you give her a hug, she hugs you tightly.
And as he's hugging her, just kind of say in her ear, everything I'm doing is because it's what's best for this family. And then let go and head back to his room.
All right. Well, I feel like that's a good stopping point for the night. Thank you all for tuning in to this wonderful episode and surprisingly hard and heavy hitting finale. Next week is going to be a special one shot. So it's not going to be a normal episode, but tune in again for the week after as we continue this story, perhaps from another perspective. But until then, we love you all. We want you to be nice to each other. I'll see you later.